The march to the lead in the AFC East begins today. Jimmy Johnson has the Miami Dolphins at 4-2 and tied atop the AFC East. This no longer a team dependent on the arm of Dan Marino. Defense is the motto in Miami. Pete Carroll's New England Patriots also at 4-2, looking to lead the Pats back to the Super Bowl. The lead in the AFC East up for grabs next. We welcome you to a blustery day in South Florida, a game of significance here midway through the 1998 season. The New England Patriots meeting the Miami Dolphins for the first of two times this year. Significance in this sense, New England and Miami find themselves tied at the top with 4-2 marks. They are followed by just a game, Buffalo and the New York Jets. Hi once again, everybody. Vern Lundquist along with Randy Cross. Normally when we play this game, we headline Drew Bledsoe and Dan Marino, but Randy, not today.
Well, Dan Marino's guys are going to run it, and Drew Bledsoe's guys are screaming medic. You know, they already didn't have Troy Brown. They didn't have Vincent Brisby. Now they don't have Terry Glenn. He didn't even make the trip. Tony Simmons starts there. Carter's out. Floyd starts there, another rookie, and they don't have their best pass rusher. That means you got to run the ball, and for the Patriots, that means Robert Edwards. Robert Edwards today has got to have at least 25 to 30 carries for Pete Carroll. But on the other side, who's going to be staring him down? Zach Thomas. And those defensive tackles, Gardner and Bowens, are going to do all they can to keep blockers off Zach. And if he can run free, New England's going to have a hard time running the ball.
We are joined by a third member of our commentary team. She's down on the sidelines. Let's join Michelle Tafoya with Jimmy Johnson.
All right, Vern, thanks very much. Coach, we're not yet at a point in the season where one game can make or break the season. But in terms of what you want to accomplish in the division, how important is this game?
Well, as far as our players' mentality, with the problems we had with New England last year, you know, I told the guys, I said, hey, if you want an opportunity to win the division, you're going to have to win at home right now because it's going to be tough when we go back up to New England.
Coach, good luck.
Thank you.
All right, back upstairs to you.
This is when the big dogs come out.
In driving rain, pro football is played.
Temperature of 82 degrees, humidity of 59%. A blustery day, as we said. The winds are listed out of the northeast, but they are coming from all directions. The Miami Dolphins won the toss, which means Adam Vinatieri will kick off. You see he's had 5 touchbacks in 33 kickoffs this season. And the deep men for the Miami Dolphins, on the left, Brock Marion. On the right, the rookie first-round draft pick from Ole Miss, John Avery, who said yesterday, I don't consider any kick non-returnable.
When you've got that kind of speed, I mean, he's got unmeasurable type speed when he gets in the open.
Here's Vinatieri's kick. Avery drifts back and grabs it 2 yards deep, bobbles the ball, picked up by Marion on one hop. And he is in deep trouble, so special teams play number 1 goes the way of the Patriots as Derek Cullors is down to make the tackle. Dan Marino now in his 16th year. And he is joined up front in this suddenly conservative offense by Webb, Dixon, Ruddy, Donnelly, and James Brown. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is the running back, Pritchett the fullback. O.J. McDuffie has yet to catch a touchdown pass this season. Expect to see a lot of action for Troy Drayton, the tight end. Inside the 10 at the 8. 1st and 10, Marino. 2 wide receivers, double tight ends. And Jabbar the only running back. That is McDuffie, followed by Ty Law. Hand off to Jabbar. Spilled as he gets around the left side and out to the 10-yard line. Defensively, Law and Eaton make the tackle there, and the Patriots will come at you up front with Ferrick Collins, Chad Eaton, Henry Thomas, and Brandon Mitchell, who starts for Willie McGinnis today. Willie McGinnis unable to go. The linebackers, Slade Johnson and Todd Collins. And in the secondary, Chris Canty got picked on Monday night. Ty Law is having a terrific season. So also is Lawyer Malloy.
Expect to see a lot of Canty against Oronde Gadsden and just throw the ball up and let Gadsden go get it kind of matchups.
Twin set, the 2 receivers to the left side. Marino, little slant pattern, finds McDuffie, and that's going to be close for the first down. Might be just short. Ty Law, number 24, makes the tackle.
This is the new Miami type of an offense. Dan Marino does not have the style of wide receivers in McDuffie and Gadsden and the whole group that really like to go down the field or have the ability to really go down the field. It's something Dan has not struggled with, but I think he's been less than happy with what he's been seeing, you know, out of his wide receivers. But they are what they are. You don't try to make them what they're not.
He was calling for Lamar Thomas on 3rd and 1. Thomas started on the field. Then the clock started winding down, so they waved him back. 3rd and 1, Dolphins. Blitz coming from Lawyer Milloy. A flag is down. Here's Jabbar going to the left. He had one of 76 yards called back last week. We'll see if this one might be negated. Willie Clay and Chris Canty made the tackle.
It's going to be offsides on defense. Clay stands.
Offsides, number 53 defense. Lining up in the neutral zone. Penalty is declined. First down.
And this is exactly the kind of bounce that this Miami defense is looking out every single week. Jabbar kind of tests it. Avery, the young rookie speedster, usually gets it. But Jabbar notices the collapse on the side, and he takes full advantage of it. This is what Jimmy wants to do. Be consistent and take advantage of any mistakes.
23-yard gain for Jabbar. First down at the 40. Lamar Thomas in the lineup. Marino back. He flings it out into the flat, and a good open field tackle by Chris Slade on Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Pete Carroll in his 2nd season as the head coach of the New England Patriots, his 3rd as a head coach overall, spent 1 year with the Jets in '94, and said this season has been immeasurably easier than last.
But this week has got to be his biggest challenge as a head coach, besides all the malarkey last year and the comparisons and the talk about Parcells. He's coming off a Monday night game. Jimmy Johnson's opponent today doesn't have all that talent, all the weapons at his disposal.
Double tight end set and the handoff to Jabbar. He goes left. Well, you think about the significance of a game with 2 teams 4-2. Jimmy Johnson, as he told Michelle, you know, we need to win this, and Drew Bledsoe telling us it's not a make or break game for the season, Randy, but it's going to be a significant step for whoever wins.
It's a step down towards the other guys at 3-3, and you can separate yourself if you win this game. And Drew Bledsoe's offense running the ball with Robert Edwards and Jimmy Johnson's offense doing what they're doing right now. Methodical consistency for as long as they can will be the keys.
3rd and 12. See if the Patriots are coming. They are. Larry Wiggum on the blitz. Marino fumbles the ball. He was hit behind the line. Henry Thomas got there to Marino, who has been only sacked 9 times this year. And Henry Thomas got through to force the fumble.
And Henry Thomas coming from the right defensive tackle spot. The reason he gets there is you've got Wiggum coming and you've got safeties coming. That enables the offensive line not to pick up a guy coming around on a game in Henry Thomas. They couldn't do it. There was nobody free, and that was a persistence coverage sack for the Patriots.
Now Chris Canty is back to return for the first time, but Wilmsmeyer line drives one, and Canty takes it on one hop. He's got a chance for a big return. Gets a block from Crawford, number 99. Vernon Crawford gave him an additional 15 yards. Wilmsmeyer 2-irons it. And Chris Canty's first return of the year, a 37-yard counterpunch off the 46-yard punt. Patriots in good shape. Drew Bledsoe now in his 6th year, the #1 draft pick out of Washington State, and having a fine season.
Key to this offense, though, is that offensive line up front. They give him time, and they give Edwards room.
Sean Jefferson starts at wide receiver on the left side. That's Coates in motion. The toss to Robert Edwards, the #1 draft pick. And he is jammed up. May have lost a yard as Jason Taylor and Derek Rogers combined for the tackle. Now let's check this New England starting lineup. And the offensive line, Bruce Armstrong, the rock there. Zephyrus Moss, a fine tackle at right tackle. Here's where the significant changes have come. Sean Jefferson, Tony Simmons, a #1 draft pick out of Wisconsin, gets his first start because of the injury to Terry Glenn and the injuries to Troy Brown and Vincent Brisby. Hand off to Edwards. He gets the ball inside the 40, near the 39-yard line. Miami defense, and it has been a dandy. They have tossed back-to-back shutouts at home. It's quick, fast. Kenny Mixon, Tim Bowens, Daryl Gardner, and Jason Taylor. And the linebackers, the key, as Randy said, is Zach Thomas. In the middle, Terrell Buckley, we expected to get a lot of action today. Calvin Jackson, Sam Madison, and Brock Marion complete the quartet in the secondary.
And this is a defense, Vern, that thrives off this crowd. This crowd is learning to love defense, and Jason Taylor, Zach Thomas, Terrell Buckley love to pump this crowd up.
Anthony Ladd just re-signed this week, is on the field. The pass tipped and incomplete, intended for Anthony Ladd. And Patrick Surtain, number 23, got his hands there.
But when you're facing this kind of a defense, though, with the speed and the quickness they have, that's exactly the kind of pass Drew Bledsoe has to throw. It's got to be a little more accurate, obviously, but you want to hit that third step and bang, that thing's got to be out, because guaranteed they're coming.
Tom Tupa will kick it away to O.J. McDuffie, who is back to return kicks in place of Terrell Buckley. This will be the second return this season for McDuffie. Tupa with the punt. Way up in the air. He is not exactly what you would call a pooch punter.
That was a big dog. That was not a pooch. That was a St. Bernard.
Siberian Husky. Second offensive set now for the Dolphins, and Kippy Brown, the offensive coordinator, going with twin tight ends. And Lamar Thomas is on the field as John Avery, the rookie running back out of Ole Miss, is also behind Marino. First down 10 from the 20. Play action, bootleg. Marino fires it deep to a wide open receiver at the 41-yard line. It was Lamar Thomas, a 22-yard gain, as Chris Canty backed off of him.
And Danny Marino at the end of that play was making a motion about the ball sailing. And you get in this wind, you expect the ball to sail, but what you don't expect is Dan Marino coming out on a naked bootleg like that. He catches the defense off guard, specifically Lawyer Malloy, and see, he's saying it's got to go, it's going to fly, it's getting up there. The wind is gusting.
Gain of 22, first down just across the 40. Actually, they'll make it a 21-yard gain. Here's the handoff in the reach, and Avery is hit behind the line. That always looks so uncomfortable, the reach. Marino for the running back. All right, now let's go back to our NFL headquarters in New York. Here's Jim Nance.
All right, thank you, Vern. It's the season of returns, and the Packers, well, it's taken them a little more than a year to find a replacement for Desmond Howard, but here he is, Roel Preston, traversing the field. He's already returned 2 kicks for touchdowns this year. Here the punt, although the showboat Randy almost got him at the end. 7-0 Packers back to Miami.
Remember, Green Bay's gotten off to good starts in the past. They got to keep it up. Mike Holmgren's team has struggled on defense.
Second down, 11 from the 40. Play fake. Here comes the rush. They got him. Chad Eaton, number 90, gets the sack. That's his 3rd sack of the season.
Well, time to go to the pictures, time to go to the chalkboards and figure out what went wrong here. Chad Eaton does a quick swim on Donnelly. The Dolphins are trying to set up a little screen over to the right, but that whole thing just collapsed on top of Marino so fast. He had no choice. Chad Eaton was all over him.
Chad Eaton, now a starter, told us yesterday, I play scared. I'm afraid I'm going to get cut every week.
Don't lose that. You'll be around for a while, as long as you got it.
3rd and 15, Marino out of the gun. No blitz, 4-man rush by the Patriots. Marino has it picked off, intercepted by Larry Wiggum. In 3 games last year, Dan Marino, 3 games against the Patriots, Marino was intercepted 6 times. 1 returned for a touchdown by Larry Wiggum. And 3 were returned for touchdowns in all. First pick of the day. Patriots have it.
Good morning. I'd like to cash in my miles for 1 ticket to Paris, France.
I'm sorry, sir. Your miles have expired.
I've been charging on my Visa card for years to earn this trip, and now I'm gonna have to pay for the ticket. It happens. Paris.
Visa says you're over your limit.
Visa, it's everywhere you want to be. Oh, Paris, if I told you what I've been through. I need a Doctor, je suis un espion.
Espion?
Espion! Espion! What's Visa? Can you at least help me find the doctor? How about a lawyer?
Visa says they're everywhere, but American Express helps you with just about everything. So you can always do more.
I do not get French fashion.
Well, the pass wasn't pretty. Here's why. Watch Teddy Bruschi, number 54, rushing. This is a whole lot of want-to. Watch when he goes into James Brown and goes airborne. He puts the wobble on that pass that enables Larry Wiggum to pick it off. That's giving it up. That's the kind of defense that Pete Carroll brought to this team 2 years ago.
And for the second time in the first quarter, the Patriots start in Miami territory. That's Coates in motion. Bledsoe with a play fake. Gets a little pressure. He gets more pressure and dumps it. Throws it away as Daryl Gardner got there. Daryl Gardner draped all over Drew Bledsoe.
Jimmy Johnson's just begging for an intentional grounding, but that ball got back to the line of scrimmage. Lots of pressure. I think that Bledsoe was trying to go to Ben Coates, but Zach Thomas had turned around and jammed him. He had nowhere to go, and then it was just a collection. There were 5 Dolphins all over Drew Bledsoe.
2nd and 10 from the 45. This is a Patriot team that defeated Miami 3 times in a 38-day period at the end of last season. Last time in the playoffs. Here's Bledsoe deep right side. Good coverage by Terrell Buckley, and the pass overthrown inside the 10.
Terrell Buckley, Vern, is a cornerback that loves to get physical, and he got physical and got away with it and stayed down the field with the receiver. We're not going to see Bledsoe do a lot of that.
Robert Edwards and Derek Cullors in the backfield. Tony Simmons, the rookie, is wide right, and Sean Jefferson is the man in motion. Here comes the blitz. Bledsoe dumps it out left side. Nobody in the area.
Yeah, the closest person is Max Lane, the left guard, and Jimmy just got himself a flag.
Here's Tom White, the referee. Yep.
Intentional grounding. Number 11 will be placed at the spot of the pass because it's greater than 10 yards. Loss of down.
Watch
down.
2 things. Look at the line of scrimmage, and look where the offensive line ends up. Bledsoe gets this quick pressure. He tries to dump it. Not only is there nobody around to catch it, his linemen are downfield when he throws it.
And Tom Tupa on to punt for the second time. O.J. McDuffie moves up to the 15.
I tell you, Vern, they might have beat this Dolphin team 3 times last year, but the Dolphins didn't have this kind of defense last year.
Only 7 points scored on Miami at home this season. That in the first game, Buffalo. This one, oh boy, it almost took a divot. As it is, it's a touchback, a 58-yard punt for Tom Tupa. Marino and the Dolphins get it back for the 3rd time. Dolphins get it back, a scoreless first quarter, their 3rd offensive set. They open with a double tight end group. 2 backs, 1 wide receiver. Marino hands it off. And Kareem Abdul-Jabbar gets a nice 5-yard run out to the 25-yard line. Chris Slade, Henry Thomas make the tackle. Patriots alternating defensive linemen quite rapidly, Randy.
I talked to Henry Thomas before the game, and he sort of jokingly mentioned the fact that we rotate a lot. I'm usually over the guard, but today we might rotate a little bit more because of this heat. If there's one thing that surprises me, though, it's not so much that the linemen are rotating and Henry's moving all over the place. It's we haven't seen a Lawyer Malloy deep middle, all-out crazy blitz yet.
He's up on the right side now, backs away on 2nd down and 5. Left side, Marino. He's got Ed Perry as tight end. Perry gets loose on the left for a 13-yard gain. Lawyer Malloy, that's tough to say. Lawyer Malloy made the tackle.
And Dan Marino is going to make his living today handing the ball off and throwing the ball underneath. His tight ends, whether it's Perry or Drayton, are going to be the critical receivers as this game grinds on and on. And we've already seen one thing happen today, Perry catching this pass, but The Dolphins committed a turnover, and they didn't have to pay for it. There's a big difference from last year.
A balloon is joining the offensive set on 1st down and 10. Marino, short set, drills it, incomplete, tipped to drop. That's a shoulda. Aronde Gadsden, tipped by Chris Canty. Well, they did not pay. Very good point. Points off turnovers often significance. Look at the 3 games last year.
If you're going to give up 58 points, and odds are with this defense this year, you don't give up 58 points in 3 games, but 28 of those points are off turnovers. 3 interceptions by Dan Marino last year returned for a touchdown. He was really beaten up by this football defense last year.
2nd and 10, scoreless first quarter. We've got 5:18 left in the first quarter. Here's the handoff to Jabbar. Gets to the 40-yard line. That's a modest gain of a couple. The tackle made by Ted Johnson, number 52. Check out the official NFL website where you can vote to help select the 1999 Pro Bowl team. Plus, log on Monday morning for Week 8 highlights and recaps at www.nfl.com. It's a challenge every week. And the gum worked.
There's a guy playing on the offensive line, Mark Dixon at left guard for the Dolphins. I like this guy, and he's a guy now that's starting to jump out on the tape, and other people are starting to notice how good this guy is.
Dixon, a free agent, played in Montreal the last 2 years. Here's Marino, sends it deep, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Willie Clay at the 35-yard line, and Clay comes left, and for the 2nd time, Marino has been intercepted. For the 3rd time, the Patriots are going to wind up starting a set inside Miami territory.
That is not Dan Marino's fault. From up here, O.J. McDuffie stopped his route, and Pete Carroll's defensive back intercepted it. McDuffie and Canty, watch McDuffie stop. When he stops, Dan Marino's expecting him to keep coming. Here comes the ball. That's what Dan was thinking.
And so the Patriots start at the 45, and Robert Edwards gets the handoff from Bledsoe, works down to the 40-yard line. Zach Thomas, number 54, makes the tackle. Dan Marino more than a little disgusted as he came off the field.
And that, you look at it realistically, though, that's the 8th interception in 4 games for Dan Marino, in less than a year against the same football team. How often have you ever seen that out of Dan Marino? The one thing that Patriot fans have gotten used to seeing is Robert Edwards doing that. That's the difference in having Edwards now instead of Curtis Martin.
Hand off to Edwards, the sweep to the right side. Edwards caught and dropped. And again, a fine defensive play by the Miami Dolphins. Stopped him back at the 45-yard line. The surge led by Derek Rogers and Sam Madison. There's Rogers, the linebacker.
I'll tell you what, Vern, if you're going to try to make business, you do it in here. Out here, you know why you don't want to do that? Watch why. Edwards has 4.38 speed, but it seems when you watch this defense on tape that everybody on that defense has 4.38 speed. You can't do it outside if they don't bite, and there was no bite on that.
Bledsoe is 0 for 4 so far, 3rd and 10. Deep right side again, a man wide open, and he overthrows him. Anthony Ladd, number 18, a first-year man out of Cincinnati. He had 2 yards on Buckley down the right side.
Remember what I said, Vern, about Buckley likes to gamble. He likes to jam. He doesn't jam. He bites. Usually he'd grab and take the penalty. Wide open. He tried to grab him, but he got away from him.
Drew Bledsoe said to us yesterday, I'm going to throw toward the guys I know best. Was that just a mix-up on timing?
That was just a case of he was expecting him further down the field.
Okay. Tupa on to punt again. McDuffie at the 10. For the 3rd time, the Dolphins have held with the Patriots starting inside the 45-yard line. Fair catch call by McDuffie, and the Miami Dolphins get it back in a scoreless first quarter with 2:48 to play. Dan Marino picked off back-to-back possessions.
But Vern, back-to-back interceptions. New England is living in Dolphin territory, but this Dolphin defense has overcome first the Larry Wiggum interception, And then the bad communication between Marino and O.J. McDuffie that's picked off by Willie Clay. You got to say boo to the offense, but this is a great job so far by Jimmy Johnson's defense.
Well, we have played 6 games and almost a full quarter in this season. And the Miami Dolphins have given up only 6 points in the first quarter this year. Now, the counter is, of course, they've only scored 7. Here's the handoff to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar out near the 13-yard line. Tackle made by Todd Collins, number 59, who had the big interception in the playoff game last year for a touchdown. Today's overhead shots, courtesy of the Goodyear Blimp Stars and Stripes, which is based up I-95 in Pompano Beach, Florida. At the controls, Captain Larry Chambers from Lighthouse Point, Florida.
And Captain Chambers has got that thing wide open, about a 20-mile-an-hour wind up there. It's got to go pretty fast to stand still.
Blimp guys love what we do, too, a home game. They've got a home game today. Double tight end set, 2nd and 5. Jabbar comes right. Willie Clay is there. What a nice job of Willie Clay to make the stop, and Henry Thomas was down low to stand him up.
A little different something Pete Carroll is throwing at Dan Marino's offense right now. He's not blitzing Malloy as much, but he's bringing up a safety in Willie Clay from the free safety up on the line of scrimmage. A good job of just change of pace and where he's putting his defensive backs. In that case, Willie Clay.
Loss of 3. It's 3rd and 8. Remember the old days? You used to see Dan Marino and 4 wide receivers. Not anymore. But he has got the field spread here. Ruddy will snap it back. Blitz coming. Chris Carter stopped. Marino, nobody open. Safety valve. Here's Parmalee out of the backfield. And Bernie Parmalee, the veteran, to the 32-yard line.
Bernie Parmalee made a veteran play right there, because Bernie Parmalee's in the backfield with Dan Marino. Bernie Parmalee shifts to the middle of the field. See, watch what happens right here. Watch Parmalee, watch the backs, shift to the middle, possible blitz pickup, falls to the ground, then gets up for the safety valve. That's a great heads-up play, and you need a little bit of luck to have a great heads-up play sometimes, and the Dolphins got that one.
That gets Miami out of a huge hole. They've got a fresh series of downs at their own 32-yard line. Scoreless first quarter with 35 seconds to go. Handed off to Jabbar. He's hit at the line, bounces off the tackle, in further trouble, freelances and pays an even bigger price. Finally, it was Ted Johnson, number 52, the middle linebacker, the recipient of a 5-year, $25 million contract in the offseason, who helps pay back a little bit of it.
Well, sometimes when you're, playing in football, running to your left, it's kind of like not running in sand, but kind of running in the water, and a couple of waves worth got him there.
That is the end of the first quarter of the ball game, with our score: New England 0 and Miami 0. We'll return to Pro Player Stadium right after this message and this word from your local station. Welcome back to Miami. First meeting this season between these two teams, tied for the division lead with 4-2 records. Vern Lundquist, Randy Cross, Michelle Tafoya.
Well, this has not exactly been an offensive display today, Vern. You've seen some good defense and you've seen some good running, but not much in the way of great passing.
This will be the 29th play of the ball game by the two teams. This is the 27th play run in Miami territory. O.J. McDuffie starts in motion. Marino pumps once, twice, 3 times, and again he's got a man open. It's Jabbar out of the backfield. And Jabbar tackled at the 37-yard line by Chris Canty, number 26.
And the reason Dan Marino is able to stand back there, double, triple pump, and look around is the job inside that he's getting from Dixon and Donnelly and Ruddy. I mean, quarterbacks should not be able to stand there completely unprotested that long in an offensive backfield. I mean, great job by the Miami Dolphin offensive line, but Pete Carroll's defense is an attacking, blitzing team, and right now, last few times they haven't gotten close to Dan.
3rd and 4. McDuffie, bottom of your screen. That's him in motion. Here comes the blitz. Chris Carter coming, and McDuffie has it from Marino. First down at the 48-yard line. The tackle from Ty Law. Chris Carter came. Marino quickly got rid of it.
And Steve Israel came on a blitz too. He was the one that almost got to Dan Marino, but once again the key was inside. Marino had the protection, knows he's got the blitz, and he's got a quick crossing pattern to O.J. McDuffie. That's where McDuffie makes his living. You talked about the fact he doesn't have any touchdowns this year, Vern, but he's averaging only about 10 yards a catch. So unless you get in the plus zone of the field, you don't have much chance of getting too many touchdowns.
Lamar Thomas back on the field now for the Dolphins. Hand off to John Avery, who comes in on this first down play. Tries to get some blocking help right side. But Mark Wheeler, number 97, makes the tackle. And let's check in with Michelle Tafoya.
Well, guys, a handful of the Dolphins, including O.J. McDuffie and Jason Taylor, have a saying taped up in their lockers stressing the importance of attitude. Taylor told me that attitude dictates what kind of day he's going to have, that attitude controls everything in his life. And McDuffie told me he believes the entire team has more attitude this season, and that's what's making the Dolphins a tougher team to face. Back upstairs to you.
And that's a good point, too, Michelle, only from the standpoint of, you know, this has been a soft team in the past. You know, a finesse team, which all football players hate. There's nothing finesse now about Dan Marino's offense, and there's certainly little finesse about the way the defense plays football.
Well, the play clock winding down, and the Dolphins forced to call timeout. So they burned one of their three, and we'll take a break. 12:44 to go, scoreless first half.
Take a look at Danny Marino here before he's taking that timeout. It's great to keep your head while all about you are losing theirs, because the rest of them didn't have a clue.
Oh, dear. Whoops. Then they backed it up. Second down and 10. Marino has thrown 10 balls so far. Only one has hit the ground. He's got 7 to his guys and 2 to theirs. Second down and 10. McDuffie in motion. Play fake. Marino across the middle again. McDuffie on the crossing pattern is tackled by Willie Clay, but he's got a first down after an 18-yard gain.
Any doubts as to why O.J. McDuffie is his money receiver? This play looked familiar, almost like the one on third down. McDuffie got the first down. They drag him across versus a blitz. Dan Marino, though, is holding on to the ball a little bit longer against the blitz, enabling him to get those plays as they cross the field.
Deepest penetration now by either team inside the 35. Marino has 2 tight ends and 2 wide receivers, 1 running back. That is Jabbar. And the handoff goes to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Knocked down by Chad Eaton and Brandon Mitchell. Eaton number 90. Mitchell number 98. Again, Willie McGinnis not starting today. Eaton, interesting young man. You see the remnants of tattoos on his arms. He's having the one on his left arm removed, and he told us last night it's a painful process. He's going to a dermatologist who scrapes it off with a scalpel. He discovered in the process that he's allergic to latex.
He also wants to do it so his young son, who's only 7 months old, will see why you don't do that when you get older.
Second down and 9. That one, Ty Law gets in the way of Ed Perry.
Keep in mind, that's a tight end. That's not a little wide receiver. Check out this contact. This is a decleater.
Oh,
ouch. That's how you go from cleated to decleated quickly, courtesy of Ty Law.
Parmalee is back in the lineup now on third down.
He went to Michigan. Somehow with a name like Ty Law, you expect him gone to Texas. You know, Ty Law sounds like that.
Well, you've got a Ty Law and a Lawyer Malloy, and it gets a little confusing for some of us. 11th play of the drive, third down and 7. Blitz coming again. Marino has a man open, tipped away by Chris Canty. Canty caught all kinds of grief this week in New England because he was burned for what proved to be the winning touchdown Monday night.
And what he's getting is a blitz in the front, so he's got to jam up immediately. Does a good job of jamming up and then recovers. That's the key. And of course, Lawyer Malloy, gee, what a shot, comes in late and gives a shot up high to Gadsden.
So on fourth down, Olinda Mare is on to try the field goal of 49 yards. He is 4 of 6 this season, 1 of 1 between the 50s. That looks good. And that is good. The Dolphins break on top. They've used ball control to post a 3-0 lead. A couple of big catches by O.J. McDuffie set up Olinda Mare for the field goal, officially marked at 48 yards. And Dan Marino had a nice drive, 12 plays in the drive, and a 3-0 Dolphin lead. Chris Canty and Derek Cullors are the deep men for Mari's kick, and it'll take a bounce at the 20. And then a second bounce at the 12. It's taken by Derek Cullors. And he comes right and is going to be driven backwards and knocked down at the 22. Derek Rogers led the way. Jerry Wilson also there. There's Rogers. And for the first time in the ball game, the Patriots start on their side of the 50.
Well, it really hasn't mattered where they've started with the ball, though, Vern, from the standpoint of how many yards they've had. I mean, this offense has had 2 interceptions. They've had the ball a lot in Dolphin territory, and they've done nothing with it.
Previous starts at the Miami 41, the Miami 45, and the Miami 45. Bledsoe has yet to complete a pass. He's been called for intentional grounding once.
Time for this offensive line to stand up. They don't have the tools today.
Blitz coming, Purnell in motion. Bledsoe slips as he goes back, and he's going to really slip now as Gardner wraps him up and takes him down.
Drew Bledsoe's about to feel like Sigourney Weaver in the movie Alien. He's got one of the big uns chasing him, and there's nothing he or anybody on his team can do about it. This crowd loves this defense.
Bledsoe, nobody there. Flag comes. That may be the reason nobody was there. This could be a defensive holding call. And it quiets the crowd for the moment. Here's Tom White getting the explanation. Yep, it'll go against the Dolphins.
But you know what? That's what you get when Jimmy Johnson has an aggressive defense.
Holding. Number 29 defense. 5-yard penalty. That's a first down.
And Sam Madison is number 29, but you know, we've already seen on the other side Terrell Buckley getting in somebody's face and being physical. Sam Madison plays the same way, and it's just the risk you take when you play this press defense.
Automatic first down. Backs in the eye. Coates, who split right, starts in motion. And he will block for Robert Edwards, who comes right but can't find anything there. Calvin Jackson, number 38, came up to play the run and did so superbly. Jackson, who's starting in place of the injured Sean Wooden. And a flag is down again on the far side of the field.
It's against the Patriots, and they're looking at a defense from Miami right now that's got a whole bunch of bounce in its play. They're excited.
Tom White.
Illegal motion. Number 87 offense. That penalty is declined. Second down.
You want to hear the noise? Listen to this now. This crowd will go crazy.
Bledsoe back, has time, pumps, lets it go across the middle. Robert Edwards out to the 27-yard line. And that's an 8-yard gain. Robert Jones, the outside linebacker, makes the tackle. One of the compliments that has been paid Robert Edwards out of Georgia is his ability to catch the ball. Does so a little better than the departed Curtis Martin.
You know, whether it's been Jim Donnan, who's done a great job at Georgia, especially with the offensive side of the ball, or Ray Goff before him at Georgia, they're producing some backs. You know, you got Hurst, you got Terrell Davis, you got Robert Edwards. Doesn't take long for scouts to figure out who's running their style of offense.
3rd and 3. Anthony Ladd in at wide receiver now, number 18. 4-man rush for Miami. Bledsoe goes deep, wide open, Sean Jefferson. And a back slips, Brock Marion. Jefferson has one man to beat. And he is knocked out of bounds by Terrell Buckley. A 58-yard gain, Jefferson all by himself.
Well, we're talking about this press defense, and what happens sometimes in the press? Well, you get those holding penalties. What else happens sometimes in the press is you get picked off by a big old Ben Coates, and you can't run with your receiver, and the safety falls on the ground, you're going to get what Drew Bledsoe did to you. That's take advantage of you for a big play to Jefferson.
Shawn Jefferson, who had caught only 8 balls coming in today, gets a big one here, 58 yards, first down inside the 20. Edwards, the only running back. Fake. Bledsoe has a man in his face, gets rid of it to Coates. And Coates inside the 10 to the 9.
Good recognition by Kenny Mixon, the rookie at defensive end. Watch him not bite on what Coates gives him. He goes after Bledsoe. Coates goes after the pass, but I'll tell you one thing. Drew Bledsoe needed Ben Coates to be open that quick because Kenny Mixon was all over him.
In its first home game this season, Miami gave up a touchdown. That was to Buffalo on a 4th and 5 play. No one has scored on them here since. Here's Robert Edwards. They blanked Pittsburgh and they blanked St. Louis, and now the Patriots threaten.
And really the key to how Zach Thomas has been doing for Jimmy Johnson's defense has been those defensive tackles. You just saw Tim Bowens get in there and just stuff that run. Daryl Gardner earlier for the sack and a couple of good run defenses. That's enabled Zach Thomas to run sideline to sideline. That's the main reason why you haven't seen a lot of big running plays, consistent running plays out of New England's offense, because Zach can run and the defensive tackles stuff it.
Now you think this is game 7. This is only the 8th time in the previous 6.5 that teams have been inside the 20-yard line on the Dolphins. Here's Bledsoe back. Flag is down, so is Bledsoe. This will be called back. It will be a dead ball foul. Bowens got there, but I think they're going to wipe it out.
Bowens has already gone all the way off the field, so he's not going to be a happy camper if he has to run back on it.
There is no play. False start. Number 77. Offense prior to the snap. It's a 5-yard penalty. 2nd down.
Well, Pete Carroll just got a mental mistake from Zephros Moss, his right tackle, that helped him.
Right.
They didn't give up the yards. They would have given up on the sack. Just they give up the yards on the offsides.
So wipe out the Bowen sack. There's Zephros Moss, number 77, and make it 2nd and goal at the 13. Big break negates the Bowen sack. Double tight end set. Ben Coates, Lovett Purnell, Tony Simmons, and Shawn Jefferson are the wide receivers. Simmons comes right, the rookie out of Wisconsin. Jefferson, who had the big play in this drive, goes left, and now here's Tom White.
Game clock, 6 minutes, 34 seconds. Thank you.
They reset 5 seconds on the game clock.
This is the part of the field, too, that Drew Bledsoe and Ben Coates have always loved together. We saw him in the quick little flare. What teams worry about from Coates is the seam. If they're covering the seam, something will be open up underneath it.
Blitz coming. Bledsoe goes deep in the corner, and he had Coates open, and the catch is not made. Coates was there, Randy.
Well, he was open early. If Bledsoe would have cut off, had a chance to, it wasn't in the play actually, but if you cut that off at 3 steps and just spin and go, look how open Coates is right there. But as he turns up the field, he's still open. Calvin Jackson just gets a hand on him, but he can't handle the pass. Great execution by Drew Bledsoe, though, and a nice play call out of Pete Carroll and his offensive coaches.
3rd and goal. Tony Simmons goes left. Lovett Purnell, the tight end, is also left. Here's Bledsoe. Goes right. And it's incomplete for Jefferson. Buckley is there. Jefferson claims there was contact.
Well, he's got company, too, because Drew Bledsoe thinks he got just yanked on that play.
Meanwhile, there is a flag back at the 22-yard line. And the officials backing Jason Taylor up. Holding. Personal foul. Oh.
Wow. Remember what you just saw? Haven't given up any points at home in 11 quarters. This is going to stuff you back a little bit and keep you out of field goal range.
Now, interesting now, because here's Tom White. It would be 4th down if the penalties were declined.
Holding, number 78. That penalty is declined. Personal foul, number 78 offense. That penalty is accepted, 15 yards. This foul occurred after the incomplete pass. Therefore, the down counts. 4th down.
Then back. That is huge. You know, this defense has this effect sometimes on offensive linemen. They're so consistently persistent. You've got guys down on the field that are rushing the quarterback that go nuts. You've got defensive backs that are aggressive. They aren't holding. I don't care what Sean Jefferson thinks. Terrell Buckley did a nice job of press defense. And then Jason Taylor, back by the quarterback, gets a personal foul out of Armstrong.
Bruce Armstrong called for the double dose. Here's Adam Vinatieri. 45-yard effort. Tupel will hold. This would equalize the score. It's going to be wide right. The Dolphins still have not given up a point since the first home game of the season. That was in the 2nd quarter. Miami leads it by 3. First half. We are at Pro Player Stadium in Miami. Vern Lundquist, Randy Cross, Michelle Tafoya, and a sellout crowd that has enjoyed the defensive effort thus far. The Dolphins lead it by 3. Double dose on Bruce Armstrong on the last sequence. Holding and then the foul. Both Jason Taylor involved. Now Marino and the Dolphins up by 3. He'll hand it off to Jabbar, who comes left and is racked as he gets to the 35-yard line. 2nd down. First meeting of the season between these two. They've got a Monday night encounter up in New England in December. 2nd and 10. Jabbar again. Right side, quick opener out across the 40 to the 41. He gets blocks from James Brown and Kevin Donnelly, and Ted Johnson makes the tackle again.
You know, Jimmy Johnson's got a great combination with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and John Avery, because you're watching Jabbar jamming this ball inside and just bashing the ball, just like Jimmy Johnson has said. Look, you know, we might be passing for about 100 yards less a game and only running for about 14 more than we have in the past, but we're being consistent, and the key to that consistency has been Jabbar's effort. Look, 11 for 38. That's not great, but that's what Jimmy wants.
3rd and 4 in a 3-0 ball game. Patriots are coming. Marino knows it, goes right, has a first down across the 50. And of course it is Oronda Gadsden this time. Young man who was playing arena football with the Portland Forest Dragons back in August.
Well, Oronda Gadsden just sort of tells Chris Canty, hop on, son, I'll give you a ticket, you're going for a ride. Here's the problem with a big physical wide receiver going against a smaller defensive back in this type of matchup. This isn't a Randy Moss you're seeing in Oronda Gadsden that can scream down the field. This is a skinny tight end who likes to get physical outside.
1st and 10 on the 3rd down catch. Jabbar breaks it open over the right side again, and he's inside the 40 to the 38. Brandon Mitchell makes the tackle, but a 7-yard gain.
Hey, but Vern, you know, here's the difference too between Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and John Avery. We've seen Avery carry the ball a time or two where he seemed to hesitate a little bit before he got to the hole. There's no hesitation out of Jabbar, and that's what Avery's learning from Jabbar. Jabbar's like his personal coach on the field, going over every little thing he does, and Jabbar keeps telling him, look, don't look, go.
2nd and 3. 3:32 to go, first half. Marino handoff, lead block left side. Jabbar inside the 40. He got 1, and it'll be 3rd down again. Chris Slade, number 53, makes the tackle.
Yeah, sometimes it doesn't matter how much go you got in you. The defense has more stuff than you got go, and a coach like Jimmy Johnson won't be discouraged, though, by a little play like that. He will keep pounding this ball.
Well, it was in the aftermath of the playoff loss in New England. Johnson called Marino forward on the airplane coming home after they got beat in the first round and said, Dan, we're going to change things. Gary Stevens was let go as the offensive coordinator, and pass protection became the key here in Miami. Here's the play fake. Marino, incomplete. Ted Johnson defending on O.J. McDuffie. Coming up in the NASDAQ halftime report, we'll go back to New York. Jim, Marcus, Brent, and George Seifert. All the scores and highlights, plus a preview of the AFC Showdown is coming up after our game. Jacksonville and Denver. That's all coming up on the NASDAQ halftime report.
You don't think, though, Jaguars will be just a little pumped up after getting embarrassed last year, do you? And people talk about the Denver Broncos' motivation from that upset 2 years ago. Denver ran for 311 yards against that defense last year.
Here's Wilmsmeyer on to punt. Nice and high, hangs up. And that one will be down inside the 10-yard line. Good job by Wilmsmeyer and the special teams players for the Miami Dolphins. Patriots have it back. The Patriot offense has been absent from the game. 2 first downs, 1 on a 58-yard pass play.
Well, the last drive wasn't bad, but as a team, the Patriots seem to be suffering a little Monday night hangover.
Both of their losses this season have come in the Monday night encounters. Here's Robert Edwards out near the 14-yard line. And we get near the 2-minute warning. There's their record after they played on Monday night.
It's a distraction. It's a short week. You know, you're 10-9. You know, Pete Carroll knows you add on top of that the penalties, and you add on top of that the injuries coming in, you've dug yourself a hole.
So we have reached the 2-minute warning. 3-0. Dolphins lead it. They're still pitching shutouts here at Pro Player Stadium. 6 at the 14. Bledsoe hands it off to Robert Edwards. And he breaks loose out to the 20, 25, and drives his feet forward to the 29-yard line. Zach Thomas, Brock Marion finally stop him.
And this is a difference between what Robert Edwards has brought to this offense and Curtis Martin. And this isn't to say what Curtis Martin really can't do, but Martin is more of a quick bolting type of a runner. You know, Robert Edwards, I talked about his speed at 4.38. I talked to him before the game on the field. This is a big guy. I mean, he's got big arms. He's got big legs. I mean, he is strong, and he showed it on that run.
Time call by New England. That's their first. They have 2 remaining with the Patriots this season. Patriots, Robert Edwards, 29%. Man, that equals proportionately the contribution of Curtis Martin.
A lot of doubts earlier in the year, you know, from the people up in Boston, exactly what they were going to get out of, you know, Robert Edwards and what kind of a player he was. And that's called picking up the slack. And expect the slack to be picked up even more. He'll improve on that 29 as the season goes on.
1st and 10, 2 timeouts remaining now, 3-0. Patriots trail. Here comes Zach Thomas on the blitz. Bledsoe with a play fake, looks deep left side, scrambles, pulls up and lets it fly. And it is caught, yes, at the 43-yard line. Sean Jefferson came back to get it, a pickup of 14.
It's really all set up by 2 things. One is the offensive line getting enough protection as you watch Zach Thomas and everybody blitz, but Drew Bledsoe's nimble. Drew Bledsoe's moving. He's active. And those aren't words generally associated with either quarterback in this game today. And it's a nice job on the sideline. The crowd here doesn't like it, but that's patience by a receiver.
Out of the gun, here's Bledsoe. Steps up, stripped to the ball, falls on it. It was Trace Armstrong, I believe, who got the handout. Number 93. Armstrong, who's a pass rushing specialist, and Shane Burton was also there. See which one it was.
Burton and Armstrong coming from the left side of the screen, 93 and 75, and it's Shane Burton, 75, that comes on and not only rips that ball away from Drew Bledsoe, but he also has a real bad look going, though. Pete Carroll's defensive tackle with all that eye black and everything else.
Yeah.
Bad look.
Coming up at halftime, the NASDAQ halftime report. Jim Nantz, Marcus Allen, Brent Jones, and George Seifert. Scores and highlights and a preview of the Jacksonville-Denver game. And Jim Nantz with that compelling interview in the pregame show with Lawrence Taylor.
Absolutely. I mean, I thought Jim did a great job, and that's not an easy thing. You got a guy sitting there with his attorney who's trying to tap dance as much as possible, and Jim kept stepping on his feet and stopping the dancing.
2nd down, 15. 3-0 Dolphins. A 49-yard Arindo Mare field goal. Ben Coates, Lovett Purnell, Tony Simmons, and Sean Jefferson, the receivers. Robert Edwards, football, loose ball at the 35. Who got this one? They'll unpile the bodies and let us know. It's going to be New England, I believe. Yep. Third down.
When you watch this defense, your pulse just goes up a little bit. Your blood pressure rises because you know it's quickness. You know it's attack. You know big things are going to happen. And you know what? The offense gets to know that too. And Drew Bledsoe and Robert Edwards are they're so much in a hurry to get that play going that Bledsoe puts that ball on Edwards' hip and they almost lose the ball. I mean, it's not just us breathing a little bit faster. It's also the guys on the field.
Third down and 20. And New England facing this really aggressive Miami defense.
And normally 3rd and 20, you know, fans go out and say, don't be in the prevent. Don't be soft. Well, you know what? Jimmy Johnson's defense doesn't have soft in it, so Drew Bledsoe knows he's not going to get a soft look.
A 3-man front, and Trace Armstrong got there early, jumps offside. Flag is down, so it's a free play now, and that one is knocked backwards by Shane Burton, but this will come back as Armstrong 2 penalties.
You've got 2 or 3 different penalties. I think you're going to have holding over here on Terrell Buckley too, working against, I think it was Simmons. This is a conference.
Yep.
Not for a decision, just to get the numbers.
Offsides. Number 75 defense. Penalty is declined. Holding. Number 27. Penalty is accepted. That's a first down.
Well, I think Shane Burton, number 75, just took one for Trace Armstrong.
Yeah.
Because Trace was the guy that got out for the fast start. But we talked about the aggressive defense, and Jimmy Johnson doesn't mind taking an aggressive defense and what it takes. Another thing about being aggressive is going after the quarterback when you get the chance, and that's not finishing him off. That's getting him up in the air and letting gravity do the rest of the business for you.
Jerry Wilson with the shot on Bledsoe, but here are the Patriots out of the gun. 4-man rush this time. Bledsoe has a man open. Ben Coates at the 44-yard line. A gain of 15. Zach Thomas and Terrell Buckley collaborate defensively.
You know, Drew Bledsoe's 2 biggest throws, one to Jefferson, one to Coach. Remember what he told us yesterday? I'm going to throw to the guys I'm used to. He's used to those 2.
Clock running with 42 seconds to go. And again, the Dolphins jump. This time Jason Taylor claims that he was drawn offside by Bruce Armstrong.
Look like bird dogs. When in doubt, go on point.
Offsides. Number 99. Unfaded to the quarterback. Yard penalty. First down.
That's one of those arguments. You gonna believe me or your lying eyes, ref? I wasn't offsides. I was drawn off. See anybody move on the left side? Only the pointer.
At the point, he stayed still.
But Jason Taylor has gotten into the heads of more than one offensive lineman this year. Will Wolford tried an uppercut on him. Tony Baselli, and he battled in a game earlier this year, and he and Armstrong got a little something going on now.
1st and 5. Bledsoe back. Here comes the rush. He's across the middle, picked off. Intercepted by Brian Walker at the 20. And again, the Patriots have been denied. Brian Walker's first interception of the season as Bledsoe threw it high.
This is a team interception and team pass rush. Roster rush come right up in the middle into Drew Bledsoe's face. Persistence pays off. Pressure by Shane Burton. And a bad throw by Drew Bledsoe.
Bledsoe's first pick of the day. 5 of 13, though. Pretty modest numbers.
Hey, but that's inflicted by this defense, plus the injuries. Remember, folks, if you weren't with us earlier, no Brisby, no Brown, no Glenn. He's had to run it. He's had to be conservative, and it ain't been pretty.
He did find Sean Jefferson for a 58-yarder. That gave them a possible field goal opportunity, but a double penalty on Bruce Armstrong pushed them back, and the penalty was missed. So we have reached halftime. Pete Carroll's team trailing the Miami Dolphins by a 3-0 count. Coming up on the NASDAQ halftime report, Jim Nantz, Marcus Allen, Brent Jones, and George Seifert. They'll get you caught up on all the latest NFL news. That's all coming up on the NASDAQ halftime report.
CBS Sports presentation of the NASDAQ halftime report is sponsored by the NASDAQ stock market.
Welcome back to New York, the NASDAQ halftime report. Jim Nantz with you from the CBS Broadcast Center. And at halftime, how about it? Miami and New England. And that Dolphin defense has now gone 12 full quarters without allowing a single point at home, Marcus Allen.
Hey, good as advertised. We talked about him at the top of the show. Smothering defense all over the Drew Bledsoe and the New England Patriots. This is a game that smells, defense, they're all over it. They just want to play. These young fellas, as we talked about it, say, hey, let me get out there and make a play. I want to build a name for ourselves. We're trying to figure out a name for these guys, by the way.
We're going to come up with one. Write some in. We'll call them out. Looks like you want to play.
Smells defense,
How
man.
That's football. That's football. Let's get on now with the NFL today and the other action. How about this one? In New York, Steve DeBerg getting blitzed practically every play. He's 5 of 12, 70 yards, no interceptions, but did fumble once, and it was returned for a touchdown by the Jets. Ravens and the Packers and Brett Favre's 100th consecutive start. Baltimore's been held under 40 yards total in the first half, and this broke their spirit early, Brent.
Jim, what I see here is a lot of Baltimore Ravens on the ground. When you're on the ground, it's tough to get back up and catch a speedy guy like Roll Preston, and he's showboating here, but he's still in the end zone.
Ted Marchibroda against Mike Holmgren today, and watch Zaire. And Reggie White gets a half a sack there. That's 8.5 on the season.
Yeah, Reggie's playing great. Watch Brett Favre and Antonio Freeman hook up here. Freeman, a double move, sets up the fade route, comes underneath on the slant. Nobody there.
And the Ravens are 0 for October, 0-2 record, and no touchdowns in the month so far. Vikings and Lions, Minnesota 1 of 2 unbeatens. And, well, Barry Sanders, 78 yards rushing in the first half, eclipsing the total he had against the Vikings when they met in Week 3, and the Vikings won big. Saints and the Bucs go to halftime. Tampa Bay with 99 total yards. Tampa Bay 2 turnovers, one of them occurring on the New Orleans 5-yard line. 49ers and Rams, the story here, Jerry Rice broke the record for most consecutive games with a catch, breaking the month mark. 184 consecutive games. Also Young with the hookup to Rice joins now Clayton and Marino. 79 times they've hit the end zone together. That's the most prolific combination in NFL history.
Too slow, you're out of shape. Fast, harder. Why can't you be perfect? Is that the best you got? Can't you do that? Come on, Warren.
This is my shield against the heat.
This is my shield against the other team. The media expectations, against the best at myself, against the opposition.
He'll never play in the NFL. He's too skinny. He's not like other quarterbacks. He'll never hold up. He'll never start. This is my shield. He's just an athlete against the noise.
Call now for your shield. CBS Sports presentation of the NASDAQ halftime report is sponsored by the NASDAQ stock market.
Halftime in Miami, 3-0 Dolphins, and CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League will continue after this word from your local station. Start of the third quarter from Pro Player Stadium in Miami, 3-0. The Dolphins got a 48-yard field goal out of Alindamari and a terrific defensive effort again.
Exactly. You know, Dan Marino and the Dolphins offense has made some mistakes, a couple interceptions, but every time the defense has been in a hole for Miami, they've risen up and taken advantage of the New England Patriots, offense. It really has been a story of what we said at the beginning. The running backs and how will they run, and the defenses and how will they play. And right now, that is playing into Jimmy Johnson's game plan.
Let's take a look at the statistical breakdown as we've reached the end of the first 2 quarters. It does this. 3-0 Miami. First downs tied at 7. Rushing yards modest, 44-20. The time of possession, an overwhelming advantage for the Miami Dolphins, 20 minutes and 3 seconds.
And a team like New England gets in trouble when they play another team's game. And right now, by necessity, because of the injuries, Pete Carroll's football team has to play Jimmy Johnson's game. And Pete Carroll's watching Jimmy Johnson's team play their game very well right now. Defense and conservative offense.
Now let's go down and check in with our colleague, Michelle Tafoya.
Well, guys, I spoke to both coaches at halftime. Pete Carroll said simply, we've had plenty of field position, but it's been a series of little miscues that's kept us from scoring. We've simply got to sharpen up. Jimmy Johnson said the Pats are loading up against their running game, so the Dolphins have to look to pass and stay out of 3rd and long for protection purposes, guys.
All right, Michelle, here's Mare's kick. It will be taken a yard in by Derek Cullors. He returns out near the 20. Stopped just short of the 20-yard line. Good special teams play again. Dwight Hollier was down to make the tackle, number 50. And the New England Patriots get it, trailing by 3 at their own 20-yard line.
That's a good point, too, Michelle brings up about Pete Carroll's perspective with the Patriots, that we're getting good field position. It's just a series of little things. And early in a game, it can be a series of little things. But it's amazing how much those little things compound as a game like this goes on, that turns into field position and who's going to blink last. In that case, who's going to make the last mistake.
Anthony Ladd is on the field to open this half. He split wide to the left. That's Ben Coates in motion. And off to Robert Edwards, hit behind the line by Daryl Gardner, number 92.
Daryl Gardner and Tim Bowens upstairs in the middle are doing a great job. Remember, we talked about Zach Thomas was going to be the key because he's going to be able to run sideline to sideline. He doesn't have to when you're getting that kind of penetration from your big defensive tackle.
Chris Floyd, who is starting in place of Tony Carter today, is out of the lineup on 2nd down, and Lovett Purnell comes on, a second tight end. 2nd down and 11. The only score in the game, a 48-yard Mare field goal. Bledsoe pumps once, lets it go, and he finds his receiver out of the left side. That's Robert Edwards out of the backfield to the 29-yard line. Not quite enough for the 1st down. Tackle is made by Daryl Gardner again, number 92.
Well, we mentioned earlier that Drew Bledsoe says, you know, I'm going to throw to the guys I'm used to and I'm comfortable with. And we talked about Coates, and we talked about Jefferson being those kind of guys. And Robert Edwards is a young running back out of the backfield that is really becoming that kind of receiver for Drew Bledsoe, because he had all kinds of time and no one to get it to until he could dump it out to his rookie out of Georgia.
Patriots with a 3rd and 1, loaded up with 3 tight ends. That Rutledge, number 83, in motion. They will go left. Edwards has it, and he is caught short. I don't believe he got it. Zach Thomas, number 54, a man whom Pete Carroll termed the key to the game, makes the tackle.
And the key was he could scrape, he could run, and no one got a helmet on Zach Thomas. He had the bead on Edwards the whole way.
4th and short, inches at the 30-yard line.
You're on your own 30-yard line after a play like this. But watch Zach Thomas. Look at the scrape. Can you get a helmet on him? Can anybody block him? Almost goes in the wrong hole, but makes up for it and still gets in on the tackle. This is an easy decision. Your own 30, 4th and short, you better punt the ball. This is a field position game now.
Tom Tupa on 4th and short, and the Dolphins sent 2 men back, both O.J. McDuffie and Terrell Buckley. High snap, which Tupa controls and sends away, but this can be returned. Nope, it bounces at the 32 and will not be returned. Flag holding Miami. Whoops.
Remember, before the kick or after the kick?
Holding, number 53. During the kick, 10-yard penalty. 1st down, timeout.
So the change of possession does occur. The Dolphins get it back. They lead it by 3.
This telecast is copyrighted by the NFL for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this telecast or of any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the NFL's consent is prohibited.
Dolphin defense gets a well-earned rest. Dan Marino and his teammates are on the field now. Miami up 3-0. And Marino hands it off to Jabbar. He comes left over Mark Dixon, number 63. Next Saturday on CBS Sports, spectacular 4-time Boston Marathon champ Bill Rogers and gold medalist Joan Benoit Samuelson among the elite athletes who shine in the Sun America Runners Classic. That's followed by college football today. Tim Brando, Lou Holtz, and Craig James. And then the Georgia Bulldogs battle the Florida Gators in the Classic SEC Bash all next Saturday on CBS. 2nd down and 8. Ed Perry starts in motion, now comes back, and Marino, quick setup, fires it out, it's caught. And that might be enough for the first down as O.J. McDuffie leans out after the tackle made by Ty Law.
O.J. McDuffie getting the jam, getting the press out of Ty Law. And look at this effort at the end. I mean, this guy, I refer to him as a money receiver because coming into this game on third down catches, he'd had 107 in his career. 90 of those 107 catches over his career were for first down coming into this game.
First down and 10. And Jabbar doesn't get much this time. O.J. McDuffie, of course, the possession receiver for the Dolphins, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. We were meeting with Jimmy Johnson on Friday in his office, and he said, "Who's Michael Madden?" Michael Madden is a sports writer for the Boston Globe, and he had written a column about the Dolphins, and he said they have a journeyman wide receiver, a journeyman running back, and a Hall of Fame quarterback who's handing the ball off. He doesn't think much of us, does he? He said he hadn't even talked about Oronde Gadsden.
It sounded pretty perceptive to me because that's about what they're doing.
Exactly. Second down and 10. McDuffie in motion, Marino back. Good protection, ball is tipped. Ted Johnson got a hand up and tipped it free.
And one of the reasons they're doing what they do is guys like Ted Johnson and other people on this defense for New England have proven to Jimmy Johnson that they have the ability to make the big plays on his offense. And they talk about the bad things that can happen. And the bad things that can happen start multiplying when that ball goes in the air, especially, you know, when it goes in the air as much as it does when Dan Marino used to play these Patriots.
Third and 10. And they will operate from the shotgun. Lamar Thomas has come on. Blitz coming. Marino looking left all the way, and Oronde Gadsden has the grab, but he comes up short of the first down as Chris Canty was there to make the tackle.
One thing you do have to keep in perspective, though, when you talk about Dan Marino sort of being handcuffed in this offense, coming into this game today, you know, he only had a handful less attempts and completions than Drew Bledsoe did on the other side. Suddenly he's handcuffed, but Drew's got the running game. So it's a little matter of which side of the fence you're standing on.
Klaus Wilmsmeyer to punt for the third time, and Chris Canty, who is returning punts in place of the injured Troy Brown, waits for this one. A flag is down. Canty is down. Whoa! How about that? Nate Jaquette, number 19. 53-yard punt if it stands, and nothing on the return, but
it's going to come back. It's illegal receiver downfield, illegal man downfield on the punt team.
Jimmy Johnson prides himself on the special teams play here.
Somebody's going to have their number called out here. Who's going to have a little explaining to do, Mr. Johnson.
Right.
Because the whole team will listen to these special teams calls.
Number 52, kicking team downfield. Fourth down.
It's Robert Jones, the inside linebacker. Look at Jaquette, though, in spite of all that. He's got Israel working on him. He's got Lawyer Malloy working on him. They hammer him out of bounds. And he just keeps on a-coming. And just does a form tackle. And that's not something you normally see out of a wide receiver. But when you play for Jimmy Johnson and you don't get on the field on offense, you better make those plays.
Well, we'll do it again. This one lower. Taken by Canty at the 9-yard line. Oh, boy, did that prove costly. Canty still up and all the way out to the 31-yard line. A 22-yard return given the second chance. And the Patriots have the ball.
Do you fear the force of the wind, the slash of the rain? Go face them and fight them. Be savage again.
The field will be wet.
Excitement electrifies us, and victory spikes the air. You grow ragged and weary and wet.
This is when the big dogs come out.
In driving rain, pro football is played.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Acura. Introducing the new 1999 TL. Luxury, performance, pick 2. Staples, the office superstore. And by First Union, your guide to the financial world.
Overhead shots today being provided by the Goodyear Blimp Stars and Stripes from Pompano Beach, Florida. The 192-foot blimp travels an average of 40 cities each year. Cedric Shaw in for the first time now in the backfield, replacing Robert Edwards. Chris Floyd in front of him. Here's Bledsoe back to throw on first down, goes left, and that is incomplete. Intended for Anthony Ladd, number 18, who appears to have had the wind knocked out of him, or a rib injury, one or the other.
The young man that was added this week off the practice squad by the New England Patriots. Keep an eye on the ball and where he lands. Right on top of the ball.
Anthony Ladd still down at the Patriot bench area.
Hey, and this is a football team that I mentioned a little while ago. No Vincent Brisby, no Troy Brown. Didn't bring Glenn. Never even made the trip from Boston for Pete Carroll's wide receiver core. You sign a free agent in Tony Gator, and then you got Anthony Ladd. You sign off your practice squad, and they're your third and fourth receivers on the day. It's not an easy decision to just say I can't play my game, and I've got to sort of just go with what I got.
Tony Gator has not seen action yet on a scrimmage play. He's the young man who played collegiately here at the University of Miami. Sean Jefferson, who is a regular, is wide to the right on second down and 10. Lovett Purnell in motion. Now the draw play. Cedric Shaw picks up 1, maybe 2.
Against the Kansas City Chiefs, this offense for New England had some great runs by Robert Edwards and company because they got outside of a quick defense that lost their contain. So far today, the Miami defense has engulfed Drew Bledsoe's running game.
Ladd and Jefferson come wide right on third down and 9. Zone blitz, and Bledsoe gets popped as he gets rid of it to Edwards, who is not close to the first down. Patrick Surtain, number 23. So it will be fourth down, and this Miami defense holds again. Tell you what they've done at home in 1998 has been outstanding.
A month or so ago, you know, we came down here for the Pittsburgh game, and this city was talking about their defense. And I said, you know, how physical can these guys be? Well, all they did was shut out the Pittsburgh Steelers and shut out last time they played at home last week, the St. Louis Rams. They're getting used to this kind of success. They're going to be dangerous.
Here's Tupa.
Let him go!
Terrell Buckley at the 15-yard line has a chance to run it back, and he does so as a flag accompanies the tackle.
It's going to be an illegal block in the back.
Tell you what, I'm going to dial up CBS.com if we get a kicking play without a flag. It seems to happen on every kicking situation. And we've got another one here.
Well, this one was well earned.
16-yard return will be negated.
Illegal block in the back, number 53 during the return. 10-yard penalty. That'll be a first down. Timeout.
That is the special teams specialist dealing in redundancy, Larry Izzo. This may be the ultimate case of hat hair. That's Daryl Gardner.
No, it's Mr. Gardner.
That's right.
The way Daryl's playing today, it's Mr. Gardner.
First down and 10, 3-0, 7:45 to go, third quarter of play. Dolphins have it. O.J. McDuffie starts in motion. Play fake from Marino. Drills it out, and it's picked off. Yes, Ty Law has another interception, and he is still running. Now the whistle blows. Marino intercepted for the third time in the ball game and the 9th time in the last 3.5 games against New England.
I know it's only 3-0, but I'm very surprised that Jimmy Johnson's got his offense putting the ball in the air in this instance. I mean, the run has not been great.
Interception,
But these are the kind of mistakes this football team made last year.
First down.
They got him in so much trouble. And Ty Law just makes a great play on that pass intended for O.J. McDuffie. But, you know, Ted Johnson was there. Ty Law was there. I just don't understand. If you're a guy that wants to be conservative and hammer it, then dang it, hammer it.
Handoff, Robert Edwards. Punt ball. Ball's in the air. Who got it? Did Edwards get it? It popped loose and came down right in his hands. Apparently.
And now this is a deal. You've gotten the ball again. You've gotten another turnover. You're giving yourself another chance. Talked about the offensive line having to step up. You got to step up, and you got to do it right here. Jason Taylor coming from the backside. Brock Marion coming from the safety.
2nd and 6. Edwards again cut down as he picks up one at left tackle over Armstrong. Well, in the first half, Calvin Jackson also came up to be a part of the tackle. In the first half, the Patriots took over at the Miami 41, 45, and 45 and came up with zilch. They also drove to a first down inside the 20 and got nothing out of that.
And that defense, 2 yards a crack, 12 for 24 right now for Edwards. That's the speed starting to kick in of Jason Taylor in that defense.
3rd and 5. Simmons and Purnell go left.
A sack takes you out of field goal range reasonably.
Here comes the blitz. They try and time it right. Bledsoe lets it go incomplete. Brian Walker was coming with the blitz from the safety position. Armstrong had a good rush.
Robert Edwards gave up his body for Drew Bledsoe. Watch Robert Edwards and what he does on this block. Look at the blitzes. You're timing it with linebackers. You're timing it with safeties. Robert Edwards gets absolutely stoned and knocked on his back, but that was the time Drew Bledsoe needed to get that pass off.
Adam Vinatieri tries to tie it up. Tupou will hold. Low snap. Kick on the way. Good. First time a team has scored on the Dolphins here since their home opener against Buffalo. We are tied at 3. I see the now gentle waters of the Atlantic off of North Miami Beach. And a cruise ship apparently heading home. The cruise industry is so big in this part of the country. And it's taken by Avery. And John Avery out to the 31-32 yard line. Relive the action from Sunday's NFL games with CBS Sportsline's Week in Photos. You'll get complete recaps and analysis plus stats and quotes from every game on cbs.sportsline.com.
Well, Miami managed to avoid the first 2 turnovers, giving up any points, but that 3rd and last interception there by Dan Marino cost them a field goal. And Marino's 12 of 19 right now. Not bad numbers as far as that goes, but he's got 3 interceptions. You've got to establish this running game in this type of a game, period.
First down and 10. Blitz coming. Handoff. John Avery tries to get to the outside and does. He's got terrific speed. And he went right for the corner. 11-yard pickup.
Remember what I said earlier? Kareem inside, inside, inside. They want to read and find out what's going on outside. You got the speed to stop him? I don't think you're going to do it with a defensive end. Not a chance you're going to stop him with that guy. That is what John Avery brings to this football team. That's the kind of running this football team needs. They need a spark.
John Avery said he spent the last couple of weeks looking at tapes of Barry Sanders and Terrell Davis. He's been criticized for dancing behind the line of scrimmage. He's trying to go more north and south. He didn't dance that time. Just got to the corner in a hurry. Here's Avery again. And he picks up a quick 5 more out to the 49-yard line. Greg Spires makes the tackle. And we'll go down in the midst of the chaos and check in with Michelle Tafoya.
All right, well, the other thing I'm standing at, Vern, is a bunch of wind, and that's one of the other things Jimmy Johnson told me at halftime, how unpredictable the wind is. It's coming in gusts. They're measured up to 25 miles per hour right now, and just when you think you know which direction it's blowing, it changes. A team could have it at its back 1 minute and right in its face the next, guys.
Yeah, I've never seen the wind affect a wishbone offense, though, Michelle. You're absolutely right. Keep this ball on the ground. You don't have to worry about the ball being affected by the wind.
2nd down and 5 in a 3-3 ball game. Marino wants to throw again, however, goes left, and Jabbar was well covered by Todd Collins and could not get open. It was Collins in the playoff game who apparently read Marino's mind, picked off one, and went 40 yards the other direction. That caused a lot of consternation.
Well, wasn't it funny, though, just last January, it wasn't a long time ago. Last January, Todd Collins and this defense knew all the audibles. Suddenly now, it's October, you know, we know nothing. They did a Sergeant Schultz on us.
They really have.
Well, we know nothing. I said, well, wait a minute. It was just a good guess.
You don't bring the topic up. The Patriots will tell you, we didn't know their audibles. 3rd and 5. Here's Marino. Blitz coming from Carter. Marino in trouble. It's hit, and he lets it go, and that was really wounded.
Well, Dan Marino's lucky he wasn't, too, because we talked about the persistence. Remember last time Steve Israel came on the blitz, and he just barely missed Dan Marino? Well, Jabbar's trying to keep out Steve Israel, but Steve Israel is the one that gets there 21 that causes this little helicopter ball from Dan Marino. I didn't notice too many bad things happening when John Avery was carrying that ball earlier, but some bad things can happen when that ball turns out like that.
Wilmsmeyer, they come, and they just did miss it. Chris Carter was there, and the ball scoots into the end zone. Carter came that close to blocking Wilmsmeyer's punt.
But a nice job of holding up and not causing a penalty. Here's Chris Carter. Here's the spot where the ball's going to be kicked. If you don't have the proper angle and lay out right, you're going to rough the kicker and not get the ball. He didn't have the proper angle. He didn't take that chance, and he doesn't get the penalty. Sure, he could have slammed into the kicker. I think that's a good play by Chris Carter.
Patriots have a 1st down and 10 after the missed block. Handoff to Robert Edwards, and this Miami defense stops him after a gain of 1. Daryl Gardner makes the tackle. Let's check in with Jim Nantz in New York.
All right, Vern and Randy, and Brett Favre looking much better today than the last 3 outings. Here, the 2nd touchdown toss of the day, and it goes to Robert Brooks. Baltimore's not moving the football. We may see Jim Harbaugh soon. Back to you.
All right, Jimmy, 2nd down and 9 here in a 3-3 game, while Baltimore trails by 21, and that pass incomplete. First game of the doubleheader here, and coming up next, most of you will see Jacksonville against Denver. The Broncos undefeated, and the Jaguars once beaten. Seattle, San Diego, and Cincinnati, Oakland.
Denver's the best team in football right now, and I found it kind of interesting watching Phil Simms and Greg Gumbel at halftime talking about that football game. The whole angle in Denver is like, you know, don't forget, you know, there's still this great thing, this grudge we have. I tell you guys, Jacksonville got hammered last year. They got the grudge.
3rd and 9, here comes the rush. Bledsoe. Oh, boy! Patrick Surtain had it between the 2 and the 3 in his hands.
And Patrick Surtain is going to be a starter here in the near future for the Miami Dolphins. He already has 2 interceptions. And Drew Bledsoe, what's he doing? He's throwing to the guy he's used to, Ben Coates. Surtain knew it. Surtain had it. And Surtain can't believe he didn't get it.
Tom Tupa on to punt for the 6th time, and this time it's a solo return man, Terrell Buckley. He's pitched his 10 at the 34-yard line. Snap is a good one. And it's a deep punt that goes out of bounds. No return. And here's that always subjective marking of where the ball went out of bounds. 44-yard punt, nothing on the return. That's it.
From that far away, that's a heck of a guess.
Marino, 3 interceptions today. 1st and 10 Miami. 3-3 ball game. Handed off to John Avery. He dances a little bit this time.
Exactly. That's that hesitation. I mean, and no one likes to run into the back of their offensive lineman. Well, I shouldn't say that. I've played with some fullbacks that love to run into the back of some offensive linemen, but you don't worry about 185-pound John Avery running into your back. And what he has to do and what the coaches are telling him is, look, get it and get it. Just go.
He is a fascinating young man with a real picturesque way of wording things, and he talked about Barry Sanders breaking in the secondary, and all of a sudden the symphony begins to play. He wants to hear some music himself. Here's Marino, has a receiver in the flat. It is John Avery, and Avery squirts across the 35 to the 37. Chris Slade and Chris Sullivan are there for the tackle. That'll bring up a third down.
And you know, some of the comparisons that John Avery has been given, or people have been compared to, is Barry Sanders, because of what you'll see right here. Watch after he catches it, the squirks. And what's a squirk? I got no idea, but he does a lot of squirking when he gets back there. There's no way to keep track of this guy.
3rd and 2. Nate Jaquette, number 19. Here comes the blitz again. Marino drills it, and it's dropped. Oronde Gadsden. And the drive fails as Gadsden can't hang on. Oh, boy.
Well, that's two things in the air the Dolphins have failed to flag down. First, Patrick Surtain should have had an interception, and that's just a beating of the ball by Oronde Gadsden, which would have been a first down.
Wilmsmeyer almost had one blocked last time out. This time the return is on by the Patriots. Canty has it at the 11. First man down, misses him. And Robert Jones catches up. Todd Doxson, who just came off the practice squad a couple of weeks ago, missed the tackle.
And when you're a quarterback, number 4 quarterback for the Dolphins, you better be able to cover punts. Having a quarterback cover kicks isn't real unusual. Remember Jim Jensen, the old Dolphin, wore a neck roll and did it.
Here's Bledsoe into the flat. Flag comes down as Edwards misfires. Robert Jones was there to defend and may have done so in a overtly aggressive way.
Sean Jefferson is just mockingly thanking the official for calling a penalty on the defensive back.
Yep. It was away from Jones.
Then Terrell Buckley's trying to explain to the official, I wasn't grabbing him.
Number 27, defense, 5-yard penalty. That's a first down.
But if you're going to press and you're going to take your chances, if he gets away, you're going to bear hug him.
Got a hug.
That's very close to bonding. It's dangerously close to bonding on a football field.
Bonus points. 7th penalty for Miami. And the first down this half for New England.
You get any closer than that, Terrell, you're going to pick out a China pattern.
First down, Edwards in the backfield. 3-3 ball game, 2:04 to go. 3rd quarter. And a flag thrown. This may have been a play clock. A delay of game.
0-0.
Yep.
Nothing but Jim Otto showing.
Get the 5 back.
Delay of game. Offense, 5-yard penalty, first down.
Yeah, and Pete Carroll's looking at a football team that played Monday night. It's having some obvious problems right here, but physically and talent-wise, even with the injuries, he's got the better team. And he's got to rely on his veterans to somehow find a way to overcome those penalties, overcome the problems they've had, and win this football game. And Drew Bledsoe is the head veteran in charge of that.
1st and 15. Bledsoe, right side, caught by Coates. Tackle is missed. Coates is down. And Robert Jones is going to rue that one. Jones slid right down his legs and missed the tackle, and Coates gains an additional 6 yards.
Well, Drew Bledsoe passes Dan Marino for that record. Marino was the former holder of the most attempts in the first 6 years of a career. And people forget about it. This is a guy that had 70 pass attempts in one football game. And you don't get that because you're playing on great football teams. That first year they were 5 and 11.
And he needs 19 more yards to go over 20,000 in his career. Here's Bledsoe. Got it on that play, perhaps. Coates. Hard to bring down. He's out to the 40-yard line. No, that's 17 yards. So Drew Bledsoe, Coates, and Thomas having at each other.
And that's what I'm talking about. Not only are you throwing the ball to your comfort guy, Ben Coates, it's another veteran saying, look, in spite of all this, we're not going to let this stop us. I'm not going to let a little linebacker like Zach Thomas drag me down. Drew Bledsoe's going to get him the ball, And then Ben Coates is going to play tight end and beg for a gang to bear him down.
First down after the 17-yard gain. Blitz coming. Bledsoe back. Wants to go deep, and he's got Sean Jefferson open and overthrows him by about 6 yards.
Well, you know, remember what Michelle said about that wind and the way it's swirling down there? This looks clearly like a ball that as Drew Bledsoe gets it in the air and Sean Jefferson comes open here working against Sam Madsen, too much air. The wind gets the ball and flows it too far. I don't think it was a case of Bledsoe badly missing his receiver. I think the air got underneath that one and it flew.
Remember back in the first quarter, Marino was talking about that, or was signaling that. Here's Edwards on second down. He gets out near the 43-yard line. 3-3 game, final 35 seconds of the third quarter. Now Bledsoe with 3,103 attempts, surpasses Marino, Favre, Elway, and Jeff George.
Every guy but one of them's been in a Super Bowl.
13 seconds to go. This should be the final play of the quarter. Yeah. That was the final play of the quarter. Well, Drew Bledsoe 2 yards away from 20,000 for his career. That's the end of 3. We're tied at 3. And we'll return right after this message and a word from your local station. Notched at 3 at the end of 3, New England and Miami. We begin the fourth quarter. Vern Lundquist, Randy Cross, Michelle Tafoya, and the Patriots out of the shotgun on 3rd and 6. Bledsoe with time, pumps, lets it go, incomplete. And that'll bring up a 4th down for the New England Patriots. Take a look at Drew Bledsoe getting a pretty good pass rush from the Dolphins.
Well, notice how long he's back there before they get to him, though. This is a good job down the field of pressure from the defensive backs and linebackers. Trace Armstrong gets there late, you know, but that's a nice job by the defense doing what they've done to Bledsoe so far today, and that's frustrate this offense.
And that brings up a 4th down on the second play of the fourth quarter. Tom Tupa, he is on the punt again and sends it deep. This will be McDuffie or Buckley. Buckley drops it, picks it up. And I'm not sure about that little move. Didn't gain him much of an advantage. He's out to the 26-yard line. A 42-yard punt. Buckley 10 on the return. Dolphins have it. And we're tied 3-3. Pro Player Stadium in Miami, a 3-3 ball game so far. Neither team able to generate in excess of 200 yards of offense, but I don't guess, Randy, that's really shocking at this point.
Not really. It's what we expected coming in here. New England with the injuries, Miami with the emphasis. Despite the turnovers they've made, it's two defenses playing very, very well. Whichever team makes a late mistake here in the fourth quarter, they're toast.
And Marino has thrown 3 interceptions. His team has the ball now at the 26-yard line. Gets it in the hands of Jabbar, who is tackled immediately at the 26-yard line by Chris Sullivan, number 74. Dolphins shutouts back-to-back against Pittsburgh and Buffalo, St. Louis here at Pro Player Stadium. And today they've allowed just 3 points. New England at Miami. They meet for a second time late in the season up in New England. One thing these two teams have in common, they both lost to the Jets, and this is a battle for first place in the East, with the Jets and Buffalo just a game back. McDuffie starts in motion. Marino holds it a long time and finds Troy Drayton. Moves the ball for a first down out to the 43-yard line. A 17-yard gain, and surprisingly the first time we've called Drayton's number today.
Yeah, but watch Troy Drayton. He's a guy I expected to get a lot more balls, but watch what he does. He's right here. He could do everything but pitch a tent. Watch him get all over the ball and stop. Dan Marino runs, and he runs, and he runs, and finally he notices his big tight end there on the 35-yard line all by his lonesome. And Troy Drayton needs to be part of the end of this game. Those are short, those are reliable. That's how they win this football game.
On 1st and 10, Ruddy puts it in the hands of Marino, who then finds Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. And not much there.
I tell you, the inside of that offensive line has done a good job pass protecting most of the time from Dan Marino with all the blitzes they've seen. But the inside of the defensive line and front seven of this New England Patriot football team is really doing a nice job. Watch the guys in blue fill the gaps. That's great defensive technique. That's how you play defense, and that's why a John Avery at this point is much more of a weapon than Jabbar just jamming it in there.
2nd and 9, blitz coming. Marino, oh, he had McDuffie in front of Ty Law, and the pass incomplete.
Well, what you have to look at when you watch McDuffie here is his body position when he gets to the ball. Is this ball on the numbers? Is this ball in front where he can grab it? Or is that adjustment has to be made? He just has to turn a little bit. You know, it's not much of an adjustment, but he's running full speed on that slant. That's part McDuffie and part Marino.
McDuffie comes near side on 3rd and 9. Patriots have the nickel defense in. Teddy Bruschi lines up as a linebacker left side. He is not coming. Marino back and flails it out to the right. That looked like a wounded animal again, intended for Parmalee, and I hear murmurs in the crowd for Dan Marino. That's a little bit surprising.
Murmur starts with M. Boo starts with B. Those are boos.
I deal in euphemisms.
It's just a frustrated crowd, and you know they haven't seen a lot of offense this year. This is a defensive football team, but if there's a miracle man in Miami, people still think it's Dan Marino.
Wilmsmeyer on to punt. High, fairly short, but effective. And the catch made at the 16-yard line, so that'll count as a punt down inside the 20, 39-yard punt, nothing on the return. Canty made the catch. Patriots have the ball. 3-3 game. Hate to keep hammering this theme, but I think it's significant. Terry Glenn not here. Vincent Brisby, Troy Brown not playing. Drew Bledsoe is 9 of 23, and 4 of the 9 have gone to Ben Coates. He tosses the first down pitch, and it goes to Robert Edwards.
And Zach Thomas makes his 10th tackle of the day. Zach's the leading tackler for both teams right now. And this is just him going after the New England offense, and it's a theme so far today, because this Miami defense, Daryl Gardner in the first 2 plays. In general, it has been get after Drew, and if that doesn't work, just plain hit him.
2nd down and 12 with 11:41 to go in regulation. Has time this time, but it's tipped in the line by Jason Taylor. Jason Taylor looks like a power forward in basketball. Got his hands up and knocked it loose.
Well, here's a guy, 6'6", 250, number 99, next to Daryl Gardner, 92. And, you know, that you can't throw through that. And that's not Drew Bledsoe's fault. That's just a case of a guy getting some air time and getting those arms up there and throwing. It's just an unavoidable obstacle wearing number 99, Mr. Jason Taylor.
I think Bledsoe's going to have to waste a timeout. Yep. Timeout in Miami. Place has been cacophonous since we left you. And they've had a little help on the sidelines. 3rd and 12. Bledsoe dances and throws it deep for Jefferson, who makes the grab at the 50. Want to hear a crowd get deflated? That's the balloon popping. Wow.
Well, you know, you knew Miami was going to come after him. You didn't think Bledsoe would have that much time, and I don't think the defenders in the back there, Patrick Surtain and others, thought that Drew Bledsoe would have a chance that long after the ball was snapped to get it down the field. Great testament to the blocking numbers and great testament to Drew Bledsoe, who is over 20,000 yards in only 83 games.
Bledsoe deep right side. Buckley's covering, and he's covering well. But he covered too well on Jefferson.
He had a hold of him.
Didn't know you grew up in Texas.
Get in the officials' faces and scream that much after the flag. There's no take the do-overs. They ain't going to take it back.
Pass interference. Number 27. Defense. That's a first down.
Well, this will be an intriguing replay.
Well, you're playing the press. You're playing physical. Right now, you know he's going long.
Oh, boy.
Well, what you can't see, and you didn't see for a long time there, watch Terrell Buckley's right arm. That is not holding. He was impeding him down there. You saw he had a sort of a hand in front of him like that. You can't leave it there.
That's a 38-yard penalty on the heels of a 37-yard completion. Robert Edwards comes left and is tackled for a loss. 3 big plays offensively, 2 of them completions today for the Patriots. A 58-yard pass to Jefferson. The 37 a moment ago on 3rd and 12, and then the pass interference call.
And this is the part of the field, too, that New England Patriots going against this defense. They've been down in this area before in this game. There's a reason they've only got 3 points in this game. This defense has played extremely tough and have played tendencies extremely well. But remember, last time they were down here, they had a chance to get one to Ben Coates.
Purnell starts in motion. Bledsoe pressured, lets it go. Kenny Mixon was right in the face of Drew Bledsoe.
You remember in the first quarter, Vern, they ran the same sort of little quick boot like that with Drew Bledsoe, and Bledsoe was able to dump it off to Ben Coates because Kenny Mixon read it so well and was right there. Look at the young rookie. He doesn't buy it. He gives Bledsoe a little bit of a push, and Tom White, our referee, made a glancing move towards his little yellow flag about that being unnecessary, but luckily for Mixon, he didn't.
3rd and 12 at the 13. Anthony Ladd back on the field now. Number 18, that's Purnell, who starts in motion. Toss, Edwards comes left. And he runs into 3 defensive players for the Dolphins. It'll be 4th down. Zach Thomas led the way. And Jerry Wilson was there.
And Vern, I know there's people that are Patriot fans right now that just came up out of their chairs screaming, what the?
Yes.
It's just, you know, I think it's part of the game plan. You don't have those receivers. We've both talked about it a lot. You don't have the normal people in a red zone package to get the ball to. If they cover the tight end, Pete Carroll's offense is better off kicking a field goal than getting to somebody unusual.
Adam Vinatieri to break the tie. Patriots lead. Pete Carroll's bunch up by 3. 9 minutes and 10 seconds to go in the 4th quarter. 6-3 Patriots. Crowd sitting in stunned silence now after 3 big plays. The Patriots, actually 2, a 38-yard pass on 3rd and 12, and then the pass interference call on Terrell Buckley.
There's nothing stunned or silence about Jimmy Johnson of late.
Here's Adam Vinatieri's kick. 6-3 ball game. This one very short. Taken by Avery. He's loose. Oh, boy. Teddy Bruschi saved it. 32-yard return.
It's just what the Dolphins needed. After that penalty they got on the pass interference, then the field goal to go down by 3. A short kick. Remember we talked about dancing? Don't dance, just do it. John Avery danced very little and did a lot of doing it.
Bruschi saved the touchdown.
Well, it came down to Vinatieri, and that is never a good sign.
1st and 10 at the 46. Play action. Here's Marino. Steps up. Short. Caught by Jabbar across the 50 to the 48-yard line. Well, remember the big penalty called on Terrell Buckley.
And I understand this being a penalty because the right arm, see, his right arm gets there and stays there. But in a 3-3 game, I don't understand it. And you don't think I don't understand it? Look at Jimmy.
That's the umpire, Jim Quirk, who is the recipient of Jimmy's explanation of the way things happen.
Jimmy's got the arms going back and forth like the defensive backs, just kind of running and hitting them, running and hitting them.
2nd and 4. McDuffie, first down at the 42-yard line. Gain of 7. And let's check back in the New York studios. Here's Jim Nance.
All right, Vern, Brett Favre having a big day for the Packers, thrown for a couple of touchdowns. Here's a design play, and it's on the quarterback draw, Favre in the end zone. Green Bay putting away Baltimore big. Back to you in Miami.
Well, we've got a little closer ball game here, 6-3, and the Dolphins trying to get back into a tie or on top. First down at the 41.
Stay with it. Stay with it. No.
Blitz coming. Marino, hot read to Drayton. Right down the pipe. Troy Drayton, and what a nice job by Marino. And Drayton doing a little trash talking to Lawyer Malloy.
Well, if you don't finish off the drive, don't worry about the trash talking. That's a nice job by Dan Marino. Watch Troy Drayton right here come right at Lawyer Malloy. Hot read, quick throw, big yards. Nice job by Dan Marino. And that's how you finish off a play by Troy Drayton.
Gain of 18.
It's a love fest.
Bonding.
It's a love thing.
John Avery in the backfield now on first down. Avery gets a handoff and not much else. Boy, things were jammed up immediately by the Patriots at the 21. 6:49 remaining in regulation play. Now Lamar Thomas comes on the field. Avery off.
Just about to go over 24 carries. This will be Jimmy's credo from now on here in Miami. Run it and suffer the consequences.
2nd and 9. Blitz coming again. Quick flip left side. Lamar Thomas tries to break the tackle. Does get to the 15-yard line. It'll be 3rd down. Tackle made by Chris Slade. A quick flip. Dan Marino.
And this ball's in the air. And you watch the people that are around it in the general area. Just sort of a sling. Look at the blockers out in front. You got Pritchett. You got Gadsden out there. I mean, that was a well-designed football play to put this Dolphin offense in this situation.
Ed Perry comes in as an extra tight end. Gadsden's on the field as well. Lamar Thomas, McDuffie split wide right. Parmalee in the backfield with Dan Marino on 3rd and 2. They bring the package again. Marino hit and dropped at the 20. Brandon Mitchell gets his 2nd sack of the season.
Brandon Mitchell just gets right in there. It's one of the things we've seen Dan Marino and Drew Bledsoe do a lot of today. That's get the ball and look and pump and pat it. And in this case, Brandon Mitchell's not going to let him stand there that long. That is another case of good defense. Miami's been playing it. New England just played a great 3rd down.
Frank Wainwright will snap it back to Klaus Rillsmeyer. Here's Mare's kick. It is perfect. Tied at 6.
That's how you recover if you're Jimmy Johnson's Dolphins. You didn't like the call. You didn't like going down 3. You get a big kickoff return. Your offense moves the ball down the field with some smart plays by your quarterback, and you tie it at 6.
Next Saturday on NASDAQ College Football, Quincy Carter and two-way star Champ Bailey hook up to lead the Georgia Bulldogs against Doug Johnson and the Florida Gators. The classic SEC bash next Saturday on CBS Sports.
Now, I talked to Robert Edwards before the game, and he went to Georgia, and he said that game, besides being known as the world's largest cocktail party,
heard that,
was the highlight last year for him. He says, you know, I didn't beat Tennessee, but we got to beat Steve Spurrier and the Florida Gators and deny them a couple of records and a couple of other different things. So we talk about love fest. Not a lot of love between those two teams, because Florida's beaten up on the Bulldogs for a long time, but Jim Donovan's got himself a football team now in Athens.
Robert Edwards, what a nice pick by the Patriots. First rounder out of Georgia.
They've done a nice job the last year or two drafting. I mean, you figure they picked up also Chris Floyd out of Michigan also. Tony Simmons.
Murray's field goal just notched it. Now he kicks off. This one will be taken by Derek Cullors at the 5-yard line. And Cullors sandwiched at the 21. Let's check in with Michelle Tafoya.
Well, Vern, on this next sequence, notice how much more quiet the Dolphins fans are here in the stadium. Now, earlier in the season, no one was more appreciative of the noise the fans made on defense than Jimmy Johnson, but he had to ask the local media, the writers and the TV reporters, please explain to the crowd they've got to be more quiet when we're on offense. When we're on defense, they can make as much noise as they want. Back up to you.
And so it begins. 4:57 to go in regulation. Tied at 6. Bledsoe back. Nice pass. Nice catch by Lovett Purnell, the tight end at the 22. So only a modest gain. Jason Taylor was there defensively. Purnell, who had a touchdown grab last Monday night.
And I'll give this offense credit, though, Vern. They're still running people down the field. In that case, Tony Simmons was out there on the far side working against Terrell Buckley, and they ran him right down the field about 50 yards.
Second and 8. 4-man rush. Bledsoe across the middle. No, incomplete. Edwards.
Remember, we saw Edwards on the sideline just a little while ago with that ice bag on his left arm. Haven't had a report from the Patriots of what that exactly would be, but the way he's getting beat on trying to run inside, I imagine it was more than a couple of helmets, and that could have had an effect there as he tried to stretch out for that one.
With 4:15 remaining, the clock stopped. The Patriots face third and 8. Left side, caught by Jefferson. First down. 11-yard gain and new life for New England.
Well, I'll tell you, in this fourth quarter, Drew Bledsoe has had a couple of passes. Kind of like what I was talking about earlier. In spite of sometimes your veteran players have to say, we won't lose this game. We should win this, and we're going to do it. Jefferson, one of the veterans, working against Sam Madison. Not a lot of room, but enough room for Bledsoe to zip one in there after he got good pass protection. And Jefferson's had himself quite a day. 4 catches, 116 yards.
Came in with only 8 for the season. First down and 10. Bledsoe blitz. Bledsoe pumps. Bledsoe lets it go short. Had a little bit of a shot put look to it. Zach Thomas made that look that way.
I don't know about a shot put, but watch this sort of get this thing away from me. Here comes Zach Thomas around the outside working against Max Lane, and he knew, and he being Bledsoe knew where there weren't many bodies to dump the ball into where it would safely fall to the ground. Zach Thomas is playing himself a heck of a football game, not only rushing the passer, but he's been a force all day going after the run.
Second and 10. Edwards comes left over Bruce Armstrong and cuts back and picks up 2.
Zach Thomas once again from that inside linebacker spot. Just got the nose for the ball. He's always there.
This is the first game of our doubleheader, and most of you next will see Jacksonville at Denver. Others will see Seattle, San Diego, or Cincinnati, Oakland. The Jaguars go in to take on the Broncos, and that's the game most of you will see as the second game of our doubleheader here on CBS.
And don't turn that game off too early. That's going to be down to the wire, last second type of deal.
Third and 8, 4-man rush. Bledsoe looks deep right side again, goes at Buckley, and it's caught.
Tony Simmons, Vern.
His first catch as a pro. A second-round draft pick from Wisconsin. His first catch as a pro. 47 yards.
4 plays ago, I told you they're running the guy down the field. I said, you got to give him credit. They're still trying it. Terrell Buckley doesn't get a chance to get a hand on him, and Bledsoe throws the ball perfectly into the rookie. I mean, Bledsoe has decided New England will not lose this football game, and he's playing like it.
Simmons, a second-round draft pick. He's a track star, won the 100 and 200-meter dashes in high school in Illinois. And he beat Buckley on that play. Here's Edwards. What a debut in the National Football League.
Well, they've done it a lot today. They've been running him down the field. You saw Jason Taylor sitting on a pile there calling a timeout for the Dolphins defense, but they've run him down the field, Simmons. They've tried him, they've overthrown him, and they kept on it. It's a great job not only by the coaches, but Drew Bledsoe, you can't say enough of the way he's reacting at the end of this game.
Drew Bledsoe looks on a little happier now than he was a quarter or so ago. Not the case for Jimmy Johnson. And Pete Carroll.
Well, there was rookie running back Robert Edwards, and this is a team, I've said it a couple times already, but Edwards has not been effective today running the ball. Credit the Miami defense. New England is finding a way to get some points at the end.
2nd and 11 inside. No. Buckley defending. Sean Jefferson, the intended receiver. Talked to Pete Carroll about Tony Simmons. It's a remarkable play that Simmons made. Carroll last night saying he's got the great speed, but boy, they hold him up on the line. He's not a great route runner yet. He's still learning.
And that's what made that such a good call by Pete and his staff. They weren't in the press. He was able to get his escape, and even as fast as Terrell Buckley is, he wasn't able to stay with Simmons.
3rd and 11. And the Patriots call timeout. That leaves them with 1. And we have 2 minutes and 22 seconds remaining in regulation. Overhead coverage today, courtesy of the Goodyear Blimp Stars and Stripes. This year, Goodyear is celebrating its 100-year anniversary and 72nd consecutive year for its blimp operation. 2:22 to go. Bledsoe, Pete Carroll.
And remember, he's thrown one to the rookie. He's trying to get one there to Jefferson, one of his comfort guys, one of his veterans. Throw this ball complete, whether it's a first down or not. You got to remember the clock's going to move. We're going to get down to the 2-minute warning. It's more time eaten off the clock. First down, you got a chance at a touchdown. No first down, you still got a chance at a field goal, and not much time for Dan Marino to work with.
3rd and 11, maximum blitz. Hot read into the end zone. Terrell Buckley was there defending Tony Simmons, and the pass falls short. It'll be field goal time.
I think that was a case of seeing a rookie receiver looking like a rookie receiver.
Right.
Sometimes the quarterback and a veteran will know can't throw the ball to you. He's going to throw it behind you or short of you or somewhere where you got to make the effort and go get it.
Adam Vinatieri 2 out of 3 today. Successful from 41 and 30. This will be from 36 to again break the tie. Vinatieri hammers it home, and with 2 minutes and 13 seconds receives applause from Bledsoe and Pete Carroll. And the Patriots lead it 9-6.
Oh, the snap is just perfect into the backup quarterback Tupa's hands, and Vinatieri drills it, barely making it over those fingertips. The best thing about this for the Patriots and Adam Vinatieri is the joy that Vinatieri feels, and the fact that Pete Carroll and his football team decided they were going to win this game. And right now they got a shot to win this game. Now you're looking at Dan Marino with over 2 minutes to go, down by 3 points, who's watched Drew Bledsoe drive his team down for the go-ahead field goal. What can Dan bring us?
What big third down plays by Bledsoe today. He hit Jefferson for 38, then got a controversial pass interference call to set up a field goal, and then hits the rookie Tony Simmons for 47.
And Vern, part of this too is the attitude the Patriots have. You know, it's sort of a grudge thing here in Miami. We lost them 3 times last year. We want to beat them. You say that to the Patriots, and Patriots kind of say, well, everybody wants to beat us in the division. We won it the last couple of years. I mean, they know people are after them. They also know they got to find a way to win. And find a way to win now fits perfectly Dan Marino.
Vinatieri kicks it. Avery from the 3, bobbles it, now picks it up. He's got some room. He's out to the 41. Vinatieri part of the tackle. So was Tebucky Jones. That's a 37-yard kickoff return. Dan Marino on the offense when we come back after the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes to go. Miami with 2 timeouts remaining. And John Elway leads the league in fourth quarter game-winning drives, but Dan Marino's second on that list.
Study that graphic well, because you'll see that again in about 4 hours. Because I think that Jacksonville-Denver game behind us is going to have exactly this kind of finish.
Well, Marino gets a chance. They have 2 timeouts left.
Already thrown 3 picks today, Vern. He's got to throw it to the smart place.
And he needs about 30 yards to give Murray a chance to tie it up. Marino dumps it off, and it's caught by Drayton, who gets out of bounds at the 49-yard line. That's a quick pickup. Oops. Ed Perry, 89 instead of 84. And that is...
We're thinking field goal position. Pete might be thinking field goal position. A few guys in that huddle might be thinking field goal position.
Yes.
That guy right there is thinking 6 points. He doesn't have much layup in him. He goes for it in 2 on par 5s. I mean, any example you want to bring, he's thinking about touchdown.
Let's see if Perry got enough for the first down. He did get out of bounds, and he got a first down. Well, to tell you how much things have changed in Dan Marino's career here, this is game 7. Only once this season has he been above 200 yards throwing the football. He's right at 200 today. That was the Monday night loss in Jacksonville, and Dan said, yeah, you know, I threw for 324, but I'd still rather have the double. But he said it with a grin and a bit of a grimace.
To his credit, he's taking the company line.
First down and 10. 9-6. 3 wide receivers, and the Patriots blitz. Marino drills it, bobbled and dropped, and that was catchable at the 40-yard line.
You know, sometimes even a master safecracker isn't going to get the job done if you give him a butter knife to do the job with, and his weapons on the outside are just not what they used to be. I mean, that's the kind of play that the Miami receiver made in the past. I mean, he drills him 8 and 5, and Thomas knows he should have had it.
Second down and 10 with 1:47 to go. Thomas breaks off wide to the left. Patriots coming again. Marino, hot read. Gadsden to the 21. Timeout, Miami. A 28-yard pickup. Oronde Gadsden.
And if you're listening out there and you think maybe Jimmy Johnson's quarterback, Dan Marino, ain't still got it, he's still got buckets load. And he knows he's got a receiver in Gadsden. As he gets the pressure, he puts it up where he has to say, look, you go get it in front of Chris Canty. I can't hold on to it any longer.
Notice the absence of Chris Canty in the picture.
It's a zone defense. There's a hole in the defense. Zone blitz. That's the zone. Vern, here's the blitz. Yeah. Larry Wiggum putting the hit on Marino, but not soon enough.
A 28-yard gain from Dan Marino, who's going to the Hall of Fame, to a wide receiver who in August was playing in the Arena Football League. Pete Carroll looks on. Drew Bledsoe can't do a thing right now. 1:37 to go in regulation.
And Bledsoe knows Dan Marino is not setting up for field position for the kick.
Ruddy snaps it back. Zone blitz. Marino fires it. Incomplete. Willie Clay was defending on O.J. McDuffie.
Now there's a case where Dan got a chance to hold the ball back there a lot. He got a chance to pat it 2 or 3 times, and he just threw that one away. I mean, that was not, don't mistake that for what, gee, the receiver should have been over there. No, that was just, let me get rid of this thing while I still got the time.
Second and 10. 3 wide receiver set. McDuffie is the inside man. Thomas wide left of him, and Gadsden sets up bottom of your screen. 4-man rush. Marino. Bernie Parmalee out of bounds at the 5. Welcome those of you who've been watching Green Bay, Baltimore. The Miami Dolphins just got a pass from Dan Marino to Bernie Parmalee to set up a 1st and goal.
And Drew Bledsoe had just driven his team down to give him a 9-6 lead. And folks, Dan Marino's being Dan Marino. Don't bury him too soon. He's not thinking 3. He's thinking touchdown.
1st and goal at the 5. Dolphins trail by 3. Handoff Parmalee. Stiff on Parmalee. Defensive job from Greg Spires.
That's part of Pete Carroll's whole philosophy, though, is you attack the ball. It's not always just a pass blitz. Sometimes it's just an all-out run blitz.
Marino looks left all the way. Goes in the corner. Incomplete. That was Gadsden, who just had a big grab of 28 yards to give Miami a 1st down.
And that's maybe a different pass than you've seen out of Dan Marino in the past, folks, because there's a case of Dan Marino putting that ball 8-9 feet off the ground, knowing Gadsden's the one that can get at it, and saying, look, you catch it, because I'm putting it where nobody else can get it.
Olinda Mare getting set in case. Thomas goes wide left. O.J. McDuffie in the slot, and Gadsden is wide right. 3rd and goal. Here come the Patriots blitzing again. Marino has to get rid of it early because Chris Carter had drawn a bead on his middle.
Chris Carter had drawn a blank, as in no one out there to really stop him from getting that reading on Dan Marino. A nice job by Pete Carroll's defense. You know, he knew Jimmy Johnson's quarterback was going to go back there and throw in this situation.
Olinda Mare ready to try the tying field goal. 25 yards. Wilmsmeyer holds it. Mare kicks it. And with 49 seconds left in regulation, we're notched at 9. .49 seconds left now. 9-9 ball game. Both teams with 1 timeout left. Olinda Mare just hammered home a 25-yarder to tie this thing at 9.
And we've seen 2 very good quarterbacks. First, Drew Bledsoe give his team a 9-6 lead. Say, I'm not going to lose. And then what's Dan Marino do? Brings the team right down the field with some great passes and sets up Olinda Mare for this field goal to tie it up with about 49 seconds left.
Biggest play of the drive was a 28-yard completion from Dan Marino to Oronde Gadsden. And then Marino found Parmalee for a 1st and goal, but on 3 plays they could not get it into the end zone, and they settled for Mare's 25-yard field goal. 9-9.
49 seconds to go. New England has 1 timeout. If there's an advantage wind-wise, Mari's got it as far as kicking off. You've seen the short kickoffs in the other direction returned a long way by John Avery and the Dolphins. A deep return goes a long way to setting up Drew Bledsoe.
Derek Cullors, Chris Canty are deep for New England. It will be Cullors 2 yards deep, and he will bring it out. Flags. This one might go back to the right. Brian Walker was there to make the tackle. Infraction, New England. Tom White is our referee.
Holding. Number 85 during the return. 10-yard penalty. First down.
Well, Pete Carroll's football team now is looking at overtime. If you can't get the ball in decent field position, you're pushed back by a penalty here. Just kneel down, let the clock go, and get these fresh minutes on the board and get your team really concentrated on what it is you want to do. A mistake here would be one of the worst things to ever happen to this football team.
Bledsoe for the day, 240 yards. Oh, look at this. They are playing for overtime. Second game of the doubleheader coming up when this one is in the bag. Jacksonville, Denver will be seen by most of you. Seattle, San Diego, and Cincinnati, Oakland also on the menu. Game 2 of our doubleheader on CBS when this one has reached its completion. And we're going to be headed for overtime. We've got 20 seconds remaining. New England 9-15 in overtime, and Miami only one game better, 10-15.
Does that give New England the edge? Yuck.
Well, that's it in regulation. Pete Carroll and the New England Patriots defeated the Dolphins 3 times in a 38-day period last year. It's been a thorn for Jimmy Johnson for 9 months. He said to Michelle DeFoy before this one began, if we can't beat the Patriots at home, we're playing for a wild card. Well, they're going to have a chance, but we're going to overtime before it's settled.
3 things to remember for Jimmy Johnson and Pete Carroll right now in overtime with the conditions of their football teams. The field position on the kicks, whether it be the kickoffs or punts, and the big mistakes. We've seen 2 quarterbacks do some good work in the end of the 4th quarter. But we've seen neither quarterback make a big mistake. If either one does, the other team's going to win this.
Oh, Bruce Armstrong out with Tom White. Jabbar, Daryl Gardner, and Jerry Wilson go out for the Dolphins. And let's listen to the coin flip.
This will be like the 4th quarter of the game for timing. Each of you will have 2 timeouts. This is tails. This is heads. You're the visiting team. Call it while it's in the air. Tails he calls. Heads it is.
I think we're set for a pretty decent finish. Overtime in Miami. And just to underline the overtime rule, sudden death. You heard Tom White's coin toss, and Miami won that. Each team has 2 timeouts, and the timeouts do not carry over, so they begin with a fresh slate of 2.
Hey, I don't understand why New England is kicking the ball in this direction. The last 2 times they had to kick the ball to Miami. Miami got the ball in the 46 and the 41 because they were short, high kicks into this win. This is asking for trouble.
And John Avery is asking for the football from Adam Vinatieri. Pro Player Stadium, Pete Carroll's team came in with 3 starters out today. Sean Jefferson is only healthy starting wide receiver. Willie McGinnis not able to play. Terry Glenn didn't make the trip. Jimmy Johnson said, I really feel sorry for him. I've got Charles Jordan and Yatil Green on injured reserve. Do not talk to me about injured wide receivers.
But in spite of, New England could have lost this football game by just saying, we've got enough excuses and enough things have happened. But Drew Bledsoe, Pete Carroll, the veterans on this team would not let that happen. That's why we're tied here at 9.
John Avery waits for Vinatieri's kick.
Watch the depth of this kickoff. Avery caught the last two about the 15-yard line on the dead run.
John Avery from Ole Miss. Average of 34.5 today. And we're set to go. Both teams 4-2. Drew Bledsoe hoping he gets a shot. Dan Marino will.
The hot hand gets first crack, though.
3 interceptions in the early going. He was terrific in the final field goal tying drive. And here is a good kickoff. Avery has it at the goal line. And a good open field tackle at the 15-yard line by Chris Floyd, who got a start today at fullback because Tony Carter is out. And so Marino and the Miami Dolphins take over. Well, they'll officially call it the 16-yard line. For the day, 21 of 37, 244. No touchdowns, 3 interceptions.
The only numbers that matter right now is what happens right here in this overtime. He mixed it up to several receivers in that last drive to tie the game.
Jabbar is in a slot to the right. Marino tipped away by Ty Law. What a nice play defensively.
Well, we've seen Ty Law all day long working against O.J. McDuffie. And most of the time you don't see Ty Law in the slot with O.J. McDuffie, but from the left side of the screen, out of the slot, comes Ty Law and O.J. Look at him reach right around. Left hand free. He's not holding McDuffie, but McDuffie thought so.
Second and 10 in overtime. Dolphins at their own 16, a 9-9 game. Play action for Marino. Fires it out, incomplete for McDuffie. Willie Clay came up, but McDuffie was open, and oh dear.
And Miami, Jimmy Johnson and company cannot say they haven't had the opportunities and the balls thrown in their hands. Patrick Surtain dropped an interception. Gadsden dropped down 1 first down. McDuffie just dropped that first down for Dan Marino.
3rd and 10. Parmalee in the lineup. Lamar Thomas breaks it off wide to the left. Gadsden is wide right. 4 of 15 on 3rd downs today, and a big one here.
Zone blitz territory of the field. Middle of the field, and you throw it. That's going to be trouble.
Here comes Malloy and Carter. Marino steps up and goes left, and it's incomplete for Thomas. Flag on Ty Law. Pete Carroll is dancing in front of the official who threw the flag.
He came on the field in the official's face when he threw that flag. The official was about 10-15 yards down the field from where Pete was standing when he calls that penalty.
Pass interference. Number 24, defense. That's a first down.
In regulation, Terrell Buckley from Miami was called on a pass interference on the sideline that set up New England's go ahead at that time field goal. How about this one? Law working. That is just 2 people in contact fighting. I don't think that's pass interference, not at this stage of the game.
Fresh series of downs for the Dolphins. Handoff. Jabbar gets it out to the 35-yard line, runs into Ted Johnson and Ferrick Collins. And it'll be 2nd down, 6 or 7, depending upon the spot. Well, pass interference calls, big ones called for both teams now.
Well, you know, Pete, in spite of end of the 4th quarter, in spite of all these problems, your quarterback found a way to do it. And what you've watched is Dan Marino, in spite of some things, come back and tie you. And now, in spite of a lot of things, Dan Marino's in position to keep going.
Here's the zone blitz, 2nd and 6. Man open. Oh, boy. Oh, Jay McDuffie at the 40-yard line. 25-yard gain.
You want to know why in the NFL today your veteran quarterbacks are putting these numbers up against these zone blitz type defenses? Dan Marino went all the way to the right, looked at all the receivers, watch him start right, then suddenly spin left. If you're not in the league 5 or 6 years, you don't make that move.
That had Ty Law and Lawyer Malloy yelling at each other. First down at the 40. And off Jabbar for 2. Ted Johnson with the tackle. And he got some help from Brandon Mitchell, number 99. Mitchell may have been the first there.
Well, you know, defensive backs can suddenly just sort of feel like, you know, remember when you were in the car driving with your parents, you were doing something you weren't supposed to, and they turn around real quick and look at you, they catch you, and you kind of cringe. Defensive backs cringe when all of a sudden Dan Marino spins out of nowhere and looks on your side of the field. They're saying, where's my guy?
2nd and 8. Bledsoe, one of the youngest and best, watching one of the more mature and best. Marino with time has a man. Oronde Gadsden down at the 28, gain of 10.
You know, football players resort to what they do best in pressure situations. What Dan Marino does best is deliver in the clutch. What this young Oronde Gadsden does best, remember, this is an arena player. He's used to tight quarters. He's used to battling. He's a physical receiver, and he resorts to what he does. Fight.
Oronde Gadsden worked for Drew Pearson's company in Dallas for a year, was on the practice squad for the Cowboys, has a Super Bowl ring because of that. Given a chance by Jimmy Johnson here. Now Jabbar works at left tackle to the 25-yard line. Olindo Mare getting set for what he hopes will be the attempt at the game winner.
Now that right there is a picture of pretending you're not noticing what's going on. Pressure? What pressure? And there's a picture there of Pete Carroll. Still thinking about that pass interference, no doubt. Drew Bledsoe thinking about whether or not he's going to get an opportunity after watching Dan Marino do this.
They'll keep it on the ground. Jabbar tries to dart to the outside. Chris Slade comes up and forces it back inside and made the tackle on 2nd and 7.
Pete Carroll is living on the football field. For a guy that's supposed to be on the white paint, he hasn't seen the white paint in a while. See the paint there? That's as close as he's gotten to being on the Patriots sideline. He's been on the field ever since that penalty was called against Ty Law.
Pete Carroll needs a get-back coach. 3rd and 8.
Head coaches hire get-backs. They don't do it.
Out of the shotgun on 3rd and 8 from the 26 in overtime. 5-man rush. Marino incomplete. No flag.
Jimmy Johnson is begging. Nice job by Pete Carroll's defense. They attack Dan Marino. They play physical with a physical receiver. That was not interference. And this sets up what I think is a long field goal try in a swirling wind. Remember the swirling wind.
Wilmsmeyer will hold it. Mare is 3 for 3 today. This from 43 yards out for the victory. Miami wins. That victory will wipe out some bitter memories for the Miami Dolphins, who lost 3 in 38 days to the Patriots in 1997. They get this one. They come from behind with that man leading the way.
I kept mentioning in spite of Vernon, in spite of everything, in spite of 3 interceptions early in the day by Dan Marino leads the team down for the tying field goal and leads the team down and sets up Olindo Mare. And there's never a doubt. Plenty of distance, plenty of height, and a lot of heart from Olindo Mare.
That wasn't the greatest snap. It was a terrific job by Klaus Wilmsmeyer to get that ball down to give Mare a chance. And I think Jimmy Johnson knew it. And Pete Carroll did as well. They'll meet again on a Monday night in New England. Late season encounter. But for now, Jimmy Johnson and the Miami Dolphins have won 4 in a row at home, and they've taken a lead in the AFC East. So for Randy Cross and Michelle DeFoy, I'm Vern Lundquist saying so long from Pro Player Stadium, where Miami has beaten New England in overtime 12-9. Murray with 4 field goals. Coming up next, most of you will see the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Denver Broncos. Others will see Seattle, San Diego, or Cincinnati versus Oakland. Miami Dolphins win it. This has been a presentation of CBS Sports.